It's already on! Rule! It's too late! I'm already doing it! 9!
It's gotta be in that one. Oh, fuck!
Okay, tell your story. It was a 9. I don't even get to talk about it anyway.
You know how I said something mean about your mom recently on a video?
Did you actually say something mean about
I don't know,
mom?
but I got an email yesterday that's message from Peggy Fleet, and I was like, I'm not reading that.
Doxed.
I'm not reading that.
Doxed.
She's not even on the fucking internet other than her phone.
Yeah.
It's impossible to dox a person who is so off the grid they live in the middle of goddamn
So wait,
nowhere.
what did she say to you?
I didn't read it because I was like, I don't even talk to my own parents. I don't have time to get lectured by his.
We turned the light off in the back there.
Jesus.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, you forgot again.
We forgot again.
Immersion fucking ruined yet again.
You rolled a
You got a
9.
9.
That's fine. This is just trash. Okay, everybody, welcome to Charisma Saves, the only show on the internet where Hugo talks about my mom.
Not true, because the other one I talked about her.
It was a 9. So, of course, we do have the illustrious Hugo. Very beautiful ring. Where the there we go. That's better. That way you can. It's all back. It's all back. Okay, I guess the Halloween's not over. It's just continuing. Fuck it. I'm here for it. The RP here is crazy. Okay, Liam and Laura only dressed up as elves like once a year. This is where it's at. We also have Sarah over here. She's my girlfriend who is a girl. Also, Alex, not my boyfriend, but he wants to be. And then Randy, he is unaffiliated with all of us, but he is the doctor. He is the top lobster in this group. I am Jake. I never actually say my name. I never actually say myself, which means I'm a great host. So, are there any announcements? Has anything changed? I don't think so.
Not a single thing has changed.
Not a single thing. Also, that light's on still.
Fuck.
I like your
Go
sweatshirt today, though.
upstairs.
Can we give props for Alex's
it's real
sweatshirt?
nice,
I
real
really like
stylish.
that. That's a good look. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan. It's kind of got this like Native American thing, but like he's white.
Cultural appropriation.
Is this one upstairs?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. It's at the top of the stairs. We should really prep before that. It was a 9. Imagine what Nat 20 looks like this.
Just beautiful.
The bard trying to do things with strength. That's what this is.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. So, we really don't have anything. The Discord link is down there. Thank you to a couple subscribers. I saw Atlas Alan Gray resubbed. We have Toyn that resubbed. Those are the 2 that I can see right now. I think there were some other people because last night it was at 70 and now it's at 74. But thank you so much for that. If you want to do that during the stream, you can fill up our mug, and when our cup runneth over, someone will do something.
You're whistly.
That's
Who wants to do the jig?
so vague.
We don't know yet. We haven't discussed it until this moment.
What a
Jig.
terrible plan.
Yeah.
That's not that's
I
the
know.
opposite of an incentive.
I
You're
know.
just saying something will happen.
Yeah, if you are a sub, by the way, you get the sexy DM there. That goes in chat, and I can give you one of those. A little bit of that. Also, I noticed that because this camera is sideways, it stretches my face long, and it makes me look like I have a huge chin. Not the case, but that's fine. This is all about theater of the mind. I have a big forehead, not a big chin.
Valid.
Anyway. So,
There's a bunch of sexy Jakes in the chat now.
you're goddamn right there are. Thanks, subs. So, last time, where we left off, the group that is not real, that doesn't really have a name except in uniform.
Pie is a valid name.
I guess you guys just never use it, so we'll say there are prospective names for this group floating around in the ether. But as of yet, the party itself found itself upon an airship called the Defiant Bounty with some interesting company. A Elven man named Kasdan, who has a little bit of a personality, and you are all headed on your way to the nest for the first time since Evelios left his home. He is on a course to return. You are high above the clouds in the airship, headed towards. You have about a day and a half left on your journey, and I think you have 2 prisoners. Is that the case?
No, Anson has our prisoners.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
You let
And
the
the
prisoners
Feywild.
go. That's correct. Yeah. Assuming they went to the... So, what would you like to do?
I don't really have much to do.
Just waiting until we get to the nest, and then I'm hiding in the plan again. Let me just
Because
You painted the coffin, right?
We did paint a coffin.
Yeah.
Last time.
Yeah.
let me just go over that again. I'm
Okay.
getting in the coffin. Are we using the briefcase? I forget if we decided we're taking that or not.
We
because
are
it is
bringing the
magical.
briefcase. But
Okay. The island we're landing on doesn't have the arcane glass, as far as we know, so we should be fine. Okay.
I feel like we had a plan, and now I don't quite understand all the
We're at the
details.
right now, we're just trying to get basically disembarked and then meet up with the oath with Kasdan.
Yeah. So
yeah.
we're putting you in the coffin. Are we disguising ourselves? Because she said that most elves could see through disguises.
See through. They're good at seeing.
If we're already taking the briefcase anyway, you two could get into the briefcase. Since I'm in the coffin anyway, and Kasdan could carry the briefcase. I think that was our rough idea, at least at the time.
Yeah.
So we didn't have to deal with disguises and the potential of being discovered that way.
What about invisibility?
Depends on how they're seeing things.
What do you mean?
He hands you his monocle.
I'll look through it.
Nothing changes for you. Everybody else. Kasdan disappeared.
Oh. Yeah, that could... Do a lot of people have these?
Not usually.
All it would
Puts it
take
back
is
on,
one
cancels
now.
the spell. Reapparating, it only takes one.
Okay, so yeah. Probably gonna have to sneak in through the briefcase.
Okay.
Sure, so it'd be myself and Avelios up front. I think we could make a case
Yeah.
for you having to be there, and you'll be in a coffin? Or do we want to just put everyone in a briefcase?
I'm good with whichever.
Well,
Because if we put one person in the coffin and other people in the briefcase,
Well,
who carries the coffin?
right?
why
Fair
don't
enough.
why don't we put everyone in the briefcase and then we put one of the bodies that we have in the coffin?
Well, for one, 2 people can't carry a coffin.
2 people could.
I can. I'm weak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do portable holes, as far as that is concerned, does it work like an... That isn't affected by, like, weight or anything, is it? You can just carry that around fine. Right?
Yeah, it'd be okay. The portable hole lets you hold tons of shit inside of it, and it should only be the same.
Okay.
So,
We can use the briefcase then?
Why don't you paint another coffin? Because don't we have 3 bodies? Why don't we make coffins for all of them so it looks like...
That wouldn't necessarily... We don't have... I mean, I can. I don't know if they'll look as good, and then if we have, like, a fucked up coffin, then it's weird if we have, like, normal coffin, fucked up coffin.
Why would one of them be fucked up?
If the paint malfunctions, you know, as it does sometimes.
Just
paint.
Try, I don't know.
Just try?
Be better.
Oh, okay. Thanks. I wasn't trying before. Okay. Good. That's good overall advice, though.
Just be better.
Oh, God.
well, last time I was up in the cabin, I found this. It's a map.
That would probably be useful.
And also because this is the information you know about each of these things.
This is the stuff you sent me.
So he hands you a map that he found. On it is handwritten labels. And it seems that a quick glance, it was an old map that didn't have labels. It was probably for people that lived on the nest that didn't need the names of stuff necessarily, because it's pretty clear, culturally speaking, who goes where. But it seems like that was given to the elves, and they started scribbled over top of it, probably with some guidance, then drew lines around the places where the arcane glass is.
So there are a few places that don't have the arcane glass.
Is this the stuff that you sent me in Discord, or is it different?
That is the stuff,
Okay.
but it's a little expanded.
Okay.
I know
That way
the
you
boarding
have-
island we're supposed to get on is in the west.
Yes,
This one?
it should be.
Oh no, this one has a circle around it though. Fuck, they said there wasn't gonna be arcane glass, but if the ones with the circles around it...
Where's this at?
This
Is
one.
it that tiny one?
It's a
What's it
tiny
called?
one. It just says elves on it.
Oh.
Oh wait, no. Well, it could be this one that doesn't. It could be that one, because that one doesn't have it, and it's kind of westerly. It's the only one on the western side that doesn't have the arcane glass. It
But
could
he
be
said
that
the
one.
ones with the the island with the elves on it is where this was headed.
Yeah.
Maybe they turn it on and off.
Oh god.
We have the docking code.
And we have the bracelets.
If it has arcane glass, then well. I forget what I feel like I asked this last time, but I forgot what we established. As far as the briefcase is concerned, it is magical in nature. Would its presence on...
Maybe it depends on if it's on or not.
I mean, it's kind of a perpetually on thing. It's like
I
a...
didn't actually notice.
We need to
I
get
don't
rid
mean
of the heart.
Oh, the-
I mean the glass.
Yeah.
From my knowledge, it's not always on. We may be
the
It
problem
may
is...
go on after docking for the day is done. So we may have to move quickly. If you'll notice, there's an island in between.
Yeah.
That's
without
where
it.
we go.
Okay. Is that where?
That's where
the
where the oath is.
Sola?
You sound very old today.
No. You do.
Alright.
So we're going to Sola then.
Yeah. But we have to get through this island first.
Yeah.
And then find a way to get to that other island.
Which other island?
This one.
We could always just hijack the ship and land there, but
That would be incredibly suspicious.
They
I'd imagine they're looking at the air traffic
That's
constantly.
what I'm thinking.
yeah.
Little.
Do
little
they know?
hot.
Yeah.
Do they know that we're on our way back? Are they able to tell?
Well, they'll notice a giant airship meant for the Elven military heading towards a place they're not supposed to go. We have to go past them. We could go under the island and over top,
Sneak
but
up?
either way, it's not necessarily that sneaky. They are birds.
Do you know?
Sharp vision.
Do the Aarakocra know anything about where the Oath are? Do they have any suspicions about that island?
To
in
my
particular?
knowledge, it's a farming town, and
Okay.
we sort of operate underneath.
Good. Okay, I think we just gotta. We just gotta land on the docking island and try and be as non-conspicuous as possible.
Oh god, that might be the worst thing for
No,
us.
as long as you're in the briefcase, it'll be fine. And Icilius as well. And as long as, you know, we don't run into any pregnant people, it'll be good.
Good one.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
But that's what we gotta do. We just gotta... Once we're on the island, then we'll be fine. Which is very easy to say, because if we don't, then we'll be dead, and then it won't be a problem, which is fine.
Yeah. We should get rid of the heart null off of this thing, just in case.
Yeah, agreed. I will anyway.
How far can that thing go?
At this point, when I have a rough idea,
You don't actually know the limits at this point, no.
do I know the longest I've ever called it from, probably? Like...
You called it 2 slipwasps from...
It was
At least?
It was at Gygax.
Right near it.
Or
I
Sky Point.
think you left it at Sky Point,
Yeah.
just outside of it. So at least that far. I think is as far as it's ever teleported.
Okay, is that how much further is? I guess any
The
land.
bottom of the ocean to the.
Yeah.
Well, this is roughly 30,000 feet up, so it's a few miles. It's was that 6 miles?
Considering, I don't know how to put this. Considering
No,
once
make
we're
the light
in there anyway, calling it as a dubious proposition at best due to the arcane glass, that's like 5th on my list as far as things to worry about. I mean, if we really need it, we're in an emergency situation, I guess we'll find out. I know that's not a great answer, but it's the one I have.
That's fine.
You can only figure things out by trying it, and we only need to try it if we're about to die. So,
That's fair. If we're about to die, the whole magic thing goes out the window anyways.
yeah.
Which I have a few things I can do, so... If we must, we must. But let's try not to.
Agreed.
Technically, you could park it on one of these islands. However, if it's not a terribly accurate process, up to you.
Oh yeah, if I tried
But
to
if
I
leaving
tried to call it somewhere,
If leaving it anywhere is the same as leaving it anywhere else, I don't see any reason.
Just push it off the boat.
You seem a
that's
little...
very rude.
You seem
Oh.
pretty attached to it, though. So
Yeah. I'll send it away, and if we need it, hopefully, we'll see what happens. Once we're on the island with the Oath, since that island doesn't have arcane glass anyway, I can attempt to call it there, assuming we're, like, in a position where we have a minute to wait. And if we can, we'll leave it there.
Yeah.
Okay, alright. Don't usually have to worry about floating whatever that is. But we do have a safe house on Solo. You should be okay.
Just gotta get there first.
Indeed.
Okay, so, what's our story? Oh, God.
We should
So-
probably get a story.
I was just gonna say, because
That's true.
we'll be in the briefcase. I'm assuming between the two of you, you're gonna want to talk
Yep.
because
Not good at talking.
the less people look at you until we figure out what we're doing, the better.
Yes.
I think your attire isn't exactly what we'd want, but
You're wearing your house colors, aren't you?
Yep.
that said, those are house colors?
Yep.
I can't imagine anyone's going to, and the elves are going to
Yeah.
worry.
Plus, it's just purple and gold. It doesn't have to be house colors.
Sure.
I know, but a snow owl
Snow
showing
owl
up
in
with...
house colors probably isn't.
Yeah, not the best.
There's many people in that house, I assume, so.
I cannot get this blanket straight.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on over here.
Definitely should not tell them my real name. That would be suicide.
Yeah.
I didn't assume you were gonna roll up and be like,
What's up,
What's
Amabelius?
up?
What's up?
"Was so in the house?"
What's so
In
in
the
the
no-
house?
Didn't think about this.
Word to your mother.
Yeah. I don't know why.
Do you throw gang signs?
Most things I'd assume with bird hands look like gang signs.
Wow.
Oh,
Not a lot of.
my
I'm just
God.
saying. It's a lot of like.
Pretty racist.
It's a lot of this.
You know.
Doesn't have the proper amount of
A lot
digits.
of this.
You're a racist?
No, I'm not. I'm digitist at best.
Because you only have one digit on your feet.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That is weird. Horses only have one toe.
Are there they're no, they don't have split hooves. Never mind.
You have split hooves.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It'd be like wearing tap shoes all the time.
Yeah, you
Clop,
basically...
clop, 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 clop.
You're basically wearing tap shoes.
Oh god.
I imagine
definitely.
that we can.
It's handy if you're a tap dancer.
You're
I'd
really
say.
into tap.
Anyway. Sorry.
I was just saying. I imagine the dead bodies are going to be a conversation diverter. So
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we'll use that. Basically, say we were under attack by. Well, let's have this play into the story we were already setting up where we left.
the orcs.
Orcs.
That makes sense.
Orcs attacked, killed pretty much everybody.
Yeah. We even I'll even describe to him, for instance, there was a scouting party outside of the area where the airship was somewhat, and they were ambushed by orcs. If you want to work that into the story that way, in case anyone comes across those bodies,
All right.
you know what I mean?
Good. Now, I haven't much experience with the Elven military, but I imagine they will check us. So,
Oh no. Yeah, are they gonna? You think they'll search the briefcase?
I don't know.
Well, hopefully not.
Hide the briefcase in the coffin?
Are we taking the coffin with us now? Because at this point, I thought we were.
You might be
Just
able
take
to
the
get
briefcase.
other people to come in and carry the coffin out.
True. But then where are they going to take it?
That's a great point. Excellent point. That breeds sympathy, too. This is good. Manipulate them a little. I like it.
Elves has sympathy?
Elves do have sympathy. For their own.
That's true.
But I'm the
Except
racist
if they
for,
open it,
for
it's
fingers.
just a
Okay.
briefcase. That's
No,
the
elves are
problem.
extremely racist.
It's a closed casket.
That's true.
Yeah.
So, the human, the whatever, and the that, well, in the coffin with the briefcase. It's good work. And we have other bodies around. We could just say that the... Who was... What? Does anyone have the name of the person that was lost?
The
The
person who
second
got
command?
away. Oh, I have all of their ID
Identifications,
cards.
yeah.
You have their ID cards.
Whatever.
Interesting.
Yeah, I took them all. So here you go. Hand
Here
over
I
a
go.
pile.
Will you hand me one that is the second in command and not all of those,
Was
please?
that the cleric?
Yeah.
Yeah, fine, the
Go ahead
cleric.
and make an investigation check real quick.
9?
You hand him a selection of cards. You're pretty sure you got the right ones, but... So he looks at them. Ah, yes. Okay. I don't know that we should use their names, maybe. I'm supposed to be someone else.
Do they know that you're captive, though? They know about you being transported here?
Oh, me? Little old me?
Yeah.
Hopefully not. It's not like my picture's around.
We're gonna get there and there's just gonna be pictures of you everywhere, probably.
That would be funny.
We all have wristbands now, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, everyone has wristbands. But again, if you use magic in any place with arcane glass, shit hits the fan.
So
You
just
don't
fight
want to
it
do
at all.
that. You don't want that. Interesting. Okay, so we should find out the names of these individuals, at least. But I don't think. Okay, all right. So he looks through. We're gonna have to do a matching game real quick.
Oh my.
Okay, so they're not necessarily photo IDs. They basically have rank, number, and name, and kind of like where they were stationed. And luckily, they were all stationed at the place you just came from to this ship, so it seems pretty legit. That's pretty easy. But you have 3 bodies there: 2 of them male, 1 female. Because you only have 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you have cards from like everybody. So.
All right. What specifically do the cards have on them that would help?
They have names. They have
Okay, we should
numbers.
start
They have
eliminating by
ranks.
gender and then...
Does it have like does it say male or female on there?
No.
Fuck.
But the names
Oh, I thought you said that was
sometimes
gender.
match.
Oh God. A lot of us speak Elven. We'd be able to tell masculine from assuming that they're
Maybe there are a lot of names that are like Pat.
Oh,
You know what
god
I mean?
damn it.
Yeah. So this is a best guess scenario.
You damn gender fluid elves. Alright.
The ranks might help. You look down, and it's pretty easy to see. Elven ranking is basically, it goes by the type of armor they're wearing. It's not like a chevron or anything. There's clearly 2 private first class, and then there's a lieutenant.
Alright, so we just have to find those 2. Or 3.
Well, I imagine there's only going to be 1 lieutenant. Okay, so who's inspecting these
Apparently
corpses?
I'm bad at this.
Seems like a professor job.
I'll take a
No.
look. I'll take a
It
look.
does seem like a professor job. Not
In fairness, I called that lady a dude about 4 times.
You did.
Last time.
You did.
Elves are very androgynous. They're all
They
just
are.
very pretty. It's not my fault.
Okay. Okay. Which one do you want to look at?
Oh God. Okay.
Because there's basically, she has like a pile of these ID cards. There's about a dozen and a
Well, let me start with
because it seems they have the information for the crew that works in the locker room you found. It's like once it's your turn to go on the Defiant Bounty, this ship, and go to your post, you just kind of leave your uniform here and it rotates in and out. So you have all the information from at least 2 crews, it seems. The people that you killed and the people that are to be on this ship next.
We should throw the excess out of the ship after this. Because they'll be like, why do you have all of these if you were running for your life in a hurry?
agree. Let's
Good thinking.
Do they know who's supposed to be on the ship and who's supposed to be at the...
I imagine it's got to be
Tower?
listed somewhere.
There has to be some kind of, like, log or something, right?
Either way, worst case, we'll just say, we were running away from the orcish attack. Everyone there was... They were fatally wounded, and we all got on the ship, and the ones that are dead, they didn't survive the trip.
Okay.
Anyway, since we have one of the bodies is the lieutenant, let me look for the,
Okay,
lieutenant.
just a quick investigation check on the pile there would be pretty easy.
What?
I don't like...
Seems Alenia planned a murder or two. Only in her head.
17.
Okay, 17, yeah. You find
True,
Lieutenant Dicine. D-I-C-I-N-E.
D-I-E what?
D-I-C-I-N-E.
Lieutenant.
Dicine.
Okay.
And you look down at the lieutenant. Female. Given your knowledge of Elven names and the fact that it's lieutenant, seems pretty good.
Okay. I think that one's her, I'll
Yikes.
say. Oh god. And then we have 8 other IDs left?
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot more.
About 13.
Oh,
14.
fuck. Okay.
So
the 2 private first class, let me first sort... are the rest...
well, there's the captain, who Kasdan's just gonna embody, but
Okay.
that you do know that was a lady.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Get rid of the captain one, so, out of... And then, are the rest all private first class, or some of them just private?
Most of them. There's some other ranks, but they're low.
Okay.
There's some ensigns.
Then I'm going to push aside those except for the private first class ones.
Okay, you got about 6.
And then they're both male, at least from what I could see, correct?
One definitely has like a chin strap sort of beard.
I don't want to be vulgar, but...
And an undercut. The other one, clean shaven, pulled back ponytail. Elves are pretty. It's tough, and
I planted the seed in your head now.
I'm gonna take a brief look at
There we go.
in the
the
pants.
grundle.
Just real quick, let's see if there's more like a camel toe or more of a bulge going on. I don't know. And we're all thinking it. What? I'm bad guy
That
for saying
never
it out
crossed
loud.
my mind at all.
All right,
Like,
Check
camel
the
toe never
genitals.
crossed my mind.
all right, go ahead.
Innie or an outie? Let's see what's going on.
Okay, dead bodies. Checking an undercarriage for certain hardware. Go ahead. Just an investigation check. It's just an investigation check.
I just really hope I get a nat 1 just to see how you figure out how I fuck up checking if someone has a dick or not.
That's not bad. That's not a bad.
We don't know how your people work.
24.
Okay, It wasn't a nat 1. Okay.
I'm weirdly good at this.
So you
Makes sense.
check both. Good for the one with the beard. The other one, average.
Okay, dudes, got it. Alright, so out of the...
Seem to be at least got dong.
This one wins. And then
Wins.
Wins what?
this is another ask if you're done thing for later.
Professor.
Come on.
Anyway, so then out of the lieutenant or private first class, I'm only gonna take the male ones, the male sound.
Okay. You do come across. There's a couple names that could go either way.
Okay.
They seem to be pretty neutral as far as the application, like a Sam or Pat we mentioned earlier, something like that. Alex. And they're all private first class.
Okay. I'm
Hopefully they don't all know each other back there.
just gonna take the ambiguous ones and take those out of the equation.
Okay.
Just in case. That's a good door number 1, door number 2, door number 3. Yeah, I'm taking out the ones that even could be ambiguous.
Okay.
This makes sense in my head, like most things that I say that don't make sense, trust me.
Okay.
And then how many are left that are unambiguously... Yes.
Like Elven male names, about 4.
What is the most masculine of the names?
Are you gonna put it on the guy with the big dick?
Kendall.
Kendall?
It's not Ken. It's not Kendall. It's CAN''DOL. Kendall.
Kendall.
Yeah, it's definitely
It's
it.
not Kendall.
I'm gonna give that
Kendalls
one to the
are
winner.
flat, Sarah.
It's Kendall
Jesus.
or Kendall Jenner.
Kendall.
Well, Kendall Jenner is a...
And then
so.
the other ones, elf names are typically, we'll call it flowery. There's lots of flow to them. Of the names you have left, the next most male is Arumiel.
Okay. Big Dick gets Kendall, other one gets the other one.
Candle.
Candle!
Come on.
Not Candle.
Did you just call him Big Dick?
Not Candle.
Candle.
Not Kendall.
That's Candle.
Not Kendall.
Candle. Sorry. Still
Candle?
Candle?
We did it. We found one. We got one to dig it in.
Anyway.
Those seem... You got Arumiel, Candle, and Dicene.
By process of elimination,
These are our dead folks.
as far as I can tell. Also, one of them really needed a bath. Anyway.
They're dead.
What?
They're dead.
Yeah.
I don't think baths matter at this point.
It did for me, because I opened that pant up and... yeah.
A bit of crotchal steam. Happens.
It's a little bit more humid, is all I'm saying in the room now. I feel that the armor has been cracked open. And
I need to throw up a little bit.
Okay.
No.
I feel like this is just turning into who can say the thing that makes Sarah the most disappointed stream. Just
Yeah. Yeah.
If any of us talk, it instantly is disappointing, so it's fine.
So far, you've ranked up the most points, I feel.
hey, okay, doing something
Even
right.
with him saying crotchal sweat?
Yeah, he makes me the most disappointed.
That's true.
Just soup. Alright, so anything else you want to do today? You have 3 bodies. You seem to have their names matched up. You have some uniforms that are extra if anyone wants to dress up.
I'll put some of the armor on just in case, because
We have to make a run for it.
Just-
Might be a good idea.
Yeah,
Just in case you have to put make a run for it.
because I'm gonna be in the coffin. Ooh, I have a disguise kit. Can I? No, that's mostly like hair and stuff. I can't like make it look like my face is fucked
Could
up.
you make my ears look pointy?
Probably.
I can
You have
attempt to
you
do
have
that.
you have like some simple prosthetics and stuff.
Am
Okay.
I pretty enough to look like an elf?
Did you ask that out loud?
Yeah.
I'm pretty good.
He sort
Let's
of
see what I can do.
he sort of looks at you. Kasdan does, and he goes, maybe like a 7.
In elves, that's.
It's not
I'm gonna
bad.
stop there.
I'm gonna disguise self, just give myself pointy ears and then say, what do you think?
Like an 8.
The ears made that much of a difference?
Yeah. It's okay. You're
So-
not really my flavor anyway.
So we've established that. If he was able to give me like ears that aren't magical disguises.
It's possible. They'd have to be pretty good.
I'll give it a shot.
I'll let you know if they're terrible.
Alright, I'll drop the disguise.
Okay.
Okay. It'd be a performance check. Okay, so you this is gonna take
That's really good.
the better part of 45 minutes. So.
26.
Oh yeah. I mean, even Kasdan like walks away for a little bit and starts looking at the map and kind of trying to think about what's going on. You have Icilia sitting there tinkering with Julia and his hand. You have Velios, pretty not broody, not giddy, but like somewhere in between the two feelings. As you know, home is coming. This fellow.
A lot of thinking going on.
Home is coming. Yeah, a lot of thinking, very pensive, but not in the normal, haha, look at him brood way that usually happens. And the professor, very artfully and kind of looking at Kasdan and the corpses for inspiration, because of your natural beauty. Solid human 10, easy. Like all the other girls in the room go, bitch. But although Alenia's never actually like tried to push that, of course, it does actually kind of work. You kind of have to add a little bit to the nose. You have to add a little bit to the chin.
She's got a baby face. So.
Right. She's a little round because she's, not really
Cherubic.
I was gonna say not very cherub-like, but definitely not as sharp as elves are. So you kind of do this. You give a little bit of eyebrow attention,
wax.
where her eyebrow shapes are fine, but they usually start to flare a little bit. And so you notice that it's good that you have like models that aren't moving, and so you kind of reference it's a little macabre at first, but you don't care. You start getting good at it. You add a little bit here and there. And you step back. Alenia looks very, very passable as an elf. If you didn't like it, if you hadn't seen her before, you wouldn't double take. You'd be like, oh, there's an elf.
Nice.
So, all right, and there's something for you to draw now.
Yeah.
Is
I
Alenia
was
as
thinking,
an
I was
elf?
like, I gotta draw Elf Alenia
So
now.
it's just Elenium, but with pointy ears.
Not really, not just pointy ears, but the nose is a little
Her eyebrows
out.
are probably a
The
little
chin
bit
is a little
sharper.
a little sharper. The cheekbones have a little more highlight on them. So instead of being a little bit more round and just like
I just got drag done, that's all.
a little bit, but not like none of it's over the top.
It's just
the
a little bit
professor
more
did an
like
excellent
Elf
job.
drag.
You're just more accentuated.
Yeah, it's basically like extreme, making the features seem a little bit more extreme.
Some good contour.
No, I mean it is.
Yeah.
There's some contour on the cheeks. The cheekbones are very highlighted. So yeah.
This is
It's comfortable too. It doesn't feel like you're wearing a bunch of shit on your face, which is good.
Alright, I'll put on the priest's armor, maybe?
You gonna be the second in command for sure?
Yeah.
I thought we were because we're using her ID as
Yeah.
part of the dead, right?
No?
We matched up.
There was
the...
a lieutenant.
No, we're
Lieutenant,
using,
not
no, we're using the
second in
second in
command.
command. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, you're
We're
right. My
using
bad.
the
Right?
second in command.
Right?
yeah, you can.
Okay.
The plan was to use the second in command.
But she's
Was
not
it?
wearing the priest's armor. We'd have to
You have the
change her.
lieutenant. That wasn't the second command.
Okay.
Yeah,
The
that's
second
not...
command is a okay.
We
So
said
so
second in command.
Oh yeah,
earlier.
because we let. No,
Kasdan starts to extrapolate on the idea of it's the priests don't necessarily have rankings, but they're always second in command of the captain.
Okay. Gotcha.
So the lieutenant is sometimes second in command when there's no priest around, or a sergeant or something, depending on whatever's next down the pecking order after captain. But almost always there's a priest on board, and the way elves, again, we've talked about it before, but the religion of elves isn't necessarily religious in the, I don't know, Western the United States or the Western world in our world. It's more of like it kind of just is a fact of their existence. It's when they die, their souls are recycled or held onto or rejected, and it's a thing that they want a priest there to, if they can, ensure the best possible outcome for these transitions, or a revival in battle, which is what that one was there for.
Sneeze.
You gonna sneeze? Can you do it with your eyes open?
No.
I can.
Oh, I think it's passing.
Okay.
I asked Kasdan to give me as much information about the religious beliefs as possible, other than that, like, they believe they all go back to one unifying force at the end, but I don't want to seem like I know my shit, basically.
Okay, make a religion check as he explains it to you. Let me see how well he explains it, see if you get a bonus. Just a flat roll.
15.
15? You have a pretty good knowledge of it in general. You've only traveled with a drow who was clearly not very religious as far as the, culturally speaking, she wasn't much a member.
Yeah.
But you've been around elves, certainly in your hometown, on and off, and part of your studies is religion in general, or used to be. You get a pretty good sense of it. You think at worst you could bullshit your way through a conversation. Okay. Is there any specific information Sarah wants to know?
If you don't have anything, I have something you should definitely ask. Is
there like a particular... Should they feel somber about death, or is it a thing where...
It's a celebrated event.
Okay.
It's somber in that the connections in life are severed. Like living is good, and they do it for a long time on purpose.
Do they mourn like
Not
humans?
in the same way that humans mourn, because humans live for like 100 years at best. Like your best case is around 100. For an elf, there's not really an upper limit. They typically end up dying from just something else, whether it be disease or battle, or like during the 800 years of peace, it's not weird for elves to be as old as that peace plus however old they were when it started. But in the last 5 years, there's been lots of war with dragons and the Tars and the orcs. So 500 or so is probably a good run.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just want to know how I should react emotionally when we get there, I guess. How my personality should be.
Not nearly as somber as usual. Probably more like, we tried to get them out, couldn't revive them. They all seem to go out fighting, which is good. It's not It's not like orcs where it's very like Valhalla-esque, or barbarians who are kind of the same way, where they have to really go out fighting. But there's an honor to not surrendering footing if you can help it, and so it's more about the honorable actions, not necessarily the actions themselves. So an honorable action doesn't have to be a fight, but they seem to be honorable. So, and you don't even have to lie your way through that. It seemed that they all fought, in reality, against you guys. Well.
Okay, I'm gonna put on the priest's outfit. Then this feels really weird.
Yeah, you can easily hide your I don't know what to call it. Your kind of spiritual armor. You can kind of hide that underneath it easily without even activating it. So.
before I get in the coffin, I want to use the magnificent pigments to kind of like make my face look fucked up. Like if at a cursory glance they like were to check the coffin just real quick. You know what I mean?
I mean, you have horns.
I thought we were putting an elf body in there, and you were gonna be in the briefcase, so they wouldn't see that.
Is that what we're doing?
I thought that was the plan.
Okay.
Now that I can stay out, it's only 2 of you that have to go in the briefcase anyway.
Okay.
Okay.
Don't lose the coffin then. Don't let them take it somewhere. Otherwise, we're stuck in a. Can you open like a portable hole from the inside if we like?
It doesn't. It's not a hole where it like cuts to one side. It's like if you put it on a wall, it would be a hole, but from the outside, it wouldn't look like there was a
Roger
hole.
Rabbit. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, there's no way for us internally to get out once we're in. We have to have someone let us out.
Yeah.
All right. Don't let them take the coffin, or we are going to suffocate, and it will be a horrible death. I don't want to die in a bomb without it exploding. That's not fair.
It's got a point.
That is. Yeah.
I already promised I wouldn't let you die, so.
Just saying, if I'm gonna go, I think in an undetonated bomb.
Detonate it.
Agree.
You're taking Icilius with you in that case.
It's a chance we're gonna have to take.
All right. Well,
Don't kill him in that box.
the 3 of us can certainly carry the casket, and we can make a case to where. I'm sure we could commandeer another airship and say that we have to go deliver the body. Or something.
Are there other elves?
Is anyone good at making papers?
What kind of papers do you need? I have a quill of penmanship, and I'm also good at forging things.
Oh, wow. Criminals. Excellent.
Mostly him.
Oh, we also have
Just him.
we have that. I forgot if I told you about this. I made the counterfeit pedigree. If we come across the official stamping thing that needs to be done,
Yeah.
if we happen to find out where that is, that'd be cool. But
Can I inspect it?
yeah, I
Just
give
look
it.
at
Sure.
it.
Go ahead and roll an investigation check.
He did a terrible job.
10.
10. Looks good.
Looks good.
At the time, it was good. I
Yeah.
think it's pretty darn good.
Looks fine to me.
Professor seems proud.
Remember when I lost that?
To be fair, Professor doesn't often not seem proud.
Yeah.
So,
In fairness, most of what I do is very impressive.
I think if we had a last will for the person in the casket, we may be able to get by on that.
Good idea. Yeah, okay. I'll write something up saying that they would like the remains returned to their family. On
Let's say-
that.
You should also forge us identification.
What do you think, Arendelle?
For what?
The city to return them to.
Sure.
It's far enough away, I think.
Okay. So yeah, I'll just write it and say to return to the family.
Okay. Wait, what kind of elf is it that we're putting in there? Is it all high?
Are they of different class structure of like
Depends
different?
on where we put them. Who's going in there?
One of the dead bodies.
Just one of the dead bodies, or the highest ranking one? The lieutenant?
Highest ranking.
Highest
I'm
ranking would
assuming.
give us the most leeway, I think, with what we can do with the remains. Or yeah,
Oh, if it's the lieutenant, then it'll be a high elf.
okay,
So Arendelle will be fine.
okay. Performance, oh shit.
Yeah, it'll be performance.
Oh, fuck yeah, 28.
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
you make a pretty convincing last will. Basically, please take my remains back to Arendelle.
I'm good at fake heartfelt.
Yeah.
Remember that time?
Yes.
Yeah, we all remember.
Yeah. That time. She has my baby!
Well,
It's not my fault sentimentality is so trite, it's easy to fake.
Wow.
I like you.
Why are you such a terrible person?
I'm not! I'm just, look at how sad this will is! It's very sad, there's
Go ahead,
like
and roll
something...
go ahead and roll a Constitution check.
Are they supposed to be sad?
You're so empathic.
This will, by the time
20.
they figure out Will shouldn't
20?
be sad, they won't even know what to do.
You get that, you know when you try not to cry? You get that little like
choking
strain
a
in your
little
throat,
bit.
just a little bit at the beginning, and then it wears off because he's still talking. And by the time you finish it, yeah, it's pretty sad.
The will is a written it's like a
doesn't
Disney
mean
ballad in will form. This is Hercules singing how he wants more, but in this guy's will.
Zero to hero.
It's the wrong song.
Yeah, that's the only one I remember.
I can go the distance.
Thank you. Michael Bolton also sings that song in the credits.
Okay,
How dare you?
that's on Alenia's playlist. I'm just gonna say.
Jesus.
Yeah, that doesn't
fuck.
fucking shock me.
wow.
How many songs from Moana are on it? None?
I could be the perfect
All right.
daughter.
A little bit shocked.
Fucking.
Anyway. Okay, so you seem like you have a pretty good last will. This is out of hand.
Never give us downtime ever.
I
Well,
can't wait
don't
to
know
get
what
off
you guys
this
are gonna
boat.
do. What?
Every downtime is just this.
We roll with it.
I cannot wait to get
Hey,
off
by
this
the way,
boat.
these are 2 back-to-back downtimes without someone cornering you.
Yeah.
We
Wow.
did it.
That's the first time in forever.
In fairness,
Since the first
we've
day.
been like on a boat. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no
An
one.
airboat, but a boat.
I'm on a boat.
Okay, so you have
Really
a
hard to
last will,
corner
you
us.
have a plan, you've got a costume. You're just gonna go with it and do your best.
Yeah. I got a name. We're good.
Can you make him look less?
He does have black
He's-
tip feathers and is
red
starting
eye
to change.
and yellow
so,
eyes and stuff now too? So it's not.
Yeah.
There's
And my
noth-
claws are a little fucked up.
I don't think
Because
there's
you used to
anything I
have
could
green
do
eyes,
that's-
didn't you?
Yeah. They used to have like emerald green. Yeah. And now they are yellow.
I don't think there's anything I could do disguise-wise that would like.
I look nothing like when I left, so it's.
They might be. How, as far as like demographics go, like, are snow owls pretty much only in the Wiseau family, or is that are
No,
there
no,
enough
no,
that
no,
there's
no.
like some? Okay.
No.
No, as you
Oh,
ask
yeah.
him, yeah, there's
Yeah, I'm just
lots of
making
other snow owls.
I can explain it if you want.
Yeah,
'Cause I
go
have
for
it
it.
in front of me. So basically, there's just like a city that has like 9,500 different snow owls in it, roughly.
Okay.
So like,
The Wiseaus are the
yeah.
what's the word I'm looking for? Like the tutors.
Gotcha.
Less
okay.
fucked up, but maybe not anymore. Less fucked up.
Right.
Lots of inbreeding.
No, not
No?
the inbreeding.
No inbreeding?
No.
Yeah. So we've mentioned this before. It's like a bunch of city
We're
states.
classier than inbreeding.
It's a bunch of city states that make up one city state, all collectively and individually called the Nest. But they also have Aarakocra names within that.
Yeah.
If
It's
you
like-
would like to.
Like there's India, but really within India,
So,
you
like-
would never say I'm from India. There's like all these different regions.
Right. It's like
that
how we
came
don't
to-
really like Americans are like that's Africa.
Yeah.
It's not Africa.
yeah, like it's the Nest, but my city is called Aturum.
Ituri.
Aturum. I don't know how to pronounce it.
That's fine.
It's been a long 5 years.
What was it?
Eturum.
Aturum.
Okay.
Is my
It's been 1 year,
Specific area.
technically.
He also has a cursed ring. It's been a busy year. We've done a lot
Yeah.
of things.
Wow.
Does that mean
shit.
it's been like 6 years? Almost?
Like 5.5.
Okay.
trying to get close to my birthday.
It's only been
soon.
half a year.
How far away to my birthday?
It's
Let's
been
look at the
a
calendar.
busy 6 months.
Let's look at the calendar.
Yeah, what's today's date? I haven't actually marked that down in a
It's
couple
been a
sessions.
bit.
Did you ever get a new calendar?
Yeah, I printed one out for you.
Is it still Calmoon? Cadmoon, sorry. Yeah.
Don't apologize. Butcher all of his names. Just like he tries to
It
butcher us.
is. Well, let's just call it the
It's
10th
fucking
because
cold
it's
down here.
it's almost midnight probably. We're
Okay.
getting close to the time where you guys would normally.
So we're going to arrive on the 10th.
Yeah, let's call it arriving on the 10th of Cadmoon because the Forest Barrows started on the 4th. And you guys spent 2 days there.
So how long till the birthday?
So 1, 2,
Birthday?
1, 2, 3, yeah. Yeah, so the 10th. You spend another day on the beach, and then it'll take 3 days to get there, so 10th.
What
Would
day
you
is
ask
this?
How long till my birthday?
It is next month, right at the beginning. It's the 8th of next month, and it's the 10th of this month, so on 28 days. I think. Wait. Nope, each month has 40 days. 38 days.
Okay.
Yeah. So, anything else we need to bookkeep for the? You're gonna get there midday, according to the maps.
Okay.
And you have a sense of where the nest is almost always, and
Yeah.
you're pretty sure that the course is correct for that. About midday, so roughly lunch. Alright, this is your preparation. Okay,
Do we have everything?
so you got, let's say you have,
Get rid of the Hartnell.
Yeah, I do. So.
okay, so at the end of this night, get rid of the Hartnell. Do you have a plan to send it a specific place?
Can I do that?
You can try.
Pull a Doctor Who run in, set it for somewhere.
You're right. It's basically like running in, plotting a course and throwing the switch, but it's never been accurate when you're in there. Why would it be accurate when you're not?
Fair enough.
Because sometimes you have to make mid course correction, but you do know that you can put it somewhere safe. Probably, bottom of the ocean's not bad. It's
I'm
safe
just gonna
down
say
there.
at this point, like, what I know, it's probably gonna be fine if I set it to like.
The pressure and stuff wouldn't be any different than it's meant to go through vacuums.
Okay.
And hard pressure. I mean, you went to the bottom of the time keep once, at the bottom of the ocean once in the Sanguine Sea,
Okay.
which is not as deep, but
I'll set it just like to under the water when we get near there,
yeah,
so it's within
you
range.
don't necessarily know of any islands or anything down there. You can look at your map if you want to pick a specific place. Other than that,
Sick.
if you want to look at your world map,
That's not the world map. That's the.
there are the cracking isles that you were on that you do know
Where did I put it?
there was Aarakocran activity there a while back. That's where you guys defeated the Black Hand.
Are
Yep.
the Cracking Isles the closest like island cluster to the
Yeah,
nest?
there's some Galapagos-esque, colder, not usually inhabited, but
Okay, I'll just try and send it to the Cracking Isles.
okay.
Sorry,
All right.
very very awkward with the
So
maps.
it's basically just the teleport like usual, but you are not very familiar. Let me see the exact level of familiarity. It looks like.
Why not send it somewhere we know really well?
Okay.
You could.
Okay, what's somewhere we know better that's still probably... I'm just afraid of trying to send it too far and then it failing.
Yeah. So, Slipwas isn't super far.
Tin Top is...
If Slipwas is your bar,
Okay.
then you could get it as far as Nightstone, you think? But
Nightstone would
If-
be a bad
if
place.
That's a pretty
if
safe...
your upper limit is Slipwas from Gygax.
I'll try Nightstone. That seems like a pretty safe place to put it.
And then there's anywhere in that Clost Bay region, so Marengo's also on the table. Tin Top is around, but that's kind of a crimey city sometimes. So.
Yeah.
Not that people can typically get in, but
I just...
you're pretty protective of the Hartnell.
Also in my head, I don't know why, but I feel like the bird would somehow find it, and I don't want the bird to get a magic toilet. Anyway.
So,
Keep it locked.
yeah, I'd say you're very familiar.
Okay.
Yeah, so only a 24% chance of failure.
Yeah. On target.
Okay.
Hey.
Where, and that's Nightstone?
Yeah.
Where in Nightstone?
Near Alexander's house or by the church.
Sure. So kind of back behind the church near Alexander's house, overlooking the sea. Okay. You set the coordinates, and you're ready to throw the switch. Is there anything you want to do in the Hartnell before you?
We don't need anything else, right? We got the briefcase.
Do we have anything we want to put on there for safety?
Yeah,
Velios takes a deep breath.
God.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to stab you.
Let me make sure I don't have anything I want to fucking claws.
Fucking what?
My goblin claw just
You
scratched
scratch
him.
my god, I didn't mean to stab you, I just go fucking claws.
Alright, I think we're good.
Alright,
I guess we're good, huh?
flip the switch.
Okay, send it away.
Okay. So you flip the switch and walk out, shut the door behind you, click, and you hear that familiar whoosh, and it heads off.
Cool.
You feel a little naked. It's not the first time you sent it off, but it's definitely the first time you might have to be without it since it came back. So, got a long rest. Anyone want to do anything during the long rest?
I think I have what I need prepared.
I'm just gonna keep working on that pepper box.
Okay, go ahead and roll. Make your roll for that. Make a roll.
I'm just gonna...
17.
Gonna think.
Yeah.
Doing
Just
okay?
gonna prepare spells, even though I can't
Doing great.
use them on most of the islands, probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Prepare for a possible fight.
Yeah.
I haven't been home in 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you excited?
I don't know. I don't know what to be excited about.
I mean, even though it's under these circumstances, it's gotta at least be
I mean, well...
kind of happy.
Besides the part that my dad's dead and my brother is almost a dictator, I mean, I guess there's a little happiness underlying that. But I'm going home. Good or bad circumstance, I guess. It's more nervous than anything. Like, what if this goes bad?
We just gotta
Improv?
Start killing
Improvise?
people.
take it one step at a time.
Yeah.
I mentioned to Caston, by the way, if you get in a situation where you need to improvise and talk to people, I'm just saying, I have no control over this. I'm gonna be in a box.
Good.
And I'm not that good at talking to people either,
You know.
so it's...
It's like if you're about to go around an icy area, maybe keep one foot on the on the brake. You know what I mean? That metaphor doesn't work in this context, actually.
I'm sure there's a metaphor that works in this
You
context.
know what I mean? Just keep one hand on the wheel at all times, Caston, as far as the line goes. It's a compliment. You're very honest, intrinsically. To a fault.
You don't say it like a compliment.
It's as close as I can get, I think.
Does he say anything that's not condescending, regardless of if it's a compliment or not?
That's a good question.
No.
Exactly. Even compliments are condescending, it's fine.
It's fair.
I love you guys very dearly.
I didn't say shit. Like, don't look at me.
No, I love you all.
In fairness, I also didn't say anything he doesn't agree with. I'm gonna put that out there.
You're all my best friends.
Oh, that's
It's a
sad.
good thing that out of all the people that you could kill here, I wouldn't be one of them.
These are my best friends.
glad I'll be safe in the briefcase.
Glad the world rests in my fate. Slightly. We're safe. We're good. Sorry, guys.
All right. So you kind of argue yourselves to sleep for the night, which is not normal.
Argue.
Or not normal, I guess. Yeah, you know, argue.
Yeah.
Razz, a lot of bants. A lot of bants before stressful situations, I find, as a DM.
Yep.
It's how we prolong.
Yeah.
Mostly to get our
I
actual
think that is
selves,
the case,
like,
yeah.
It calms our actual selves down.
Right.
So it helps.
I think it's also,
Except for her, it's the opposite.
No, I think it's also just.
Us.
Is it our coping mechanism or?
It seems to be.
I think it is. Just shit on each other until we fall asleep.
Also, I think if we're just constantly mean to each other, then it gives us a reason to not want to die. Also, another reason, so that way, no. Because
No, I
then
know what you mean. It's just a funny sentence.
Yeah.
We're so mean to each other, it makes us not want to kill ourselves.
It makes us go, I can't let that person die because I was an
I was
asshole.
a dick to them. Our actions have to show that we care about each
And
other
also
because
it's-
our words almost never do.
There's a little bit of spite, too. Like, I can't die before
Yeah.
that bastard. Yeah.
Well, he already did, so.
Wow.
No, for us, it's more like, I
First
will
one.
die before that bastard can martyr himself.
Pretty much,
It's
yeah.
fighting over who will be the martyr.
Who will be the martyr? You're right. Except for Icilius, he probably wouldn't be a martyr.
Yeah, Icilius would run away because he's a coward.
Oh,
Fuck.
that's not.
He's a coward who kills.
He's
like,
not a
harmless
coward.
Pregnant ladies.
He just shoots things.
He shoots
And that-
pregnant women and makes deals with
She was in my zone.
That's my favorite defense so far.
She
was in my zone, guys. The fetus had to die.
Okay, so you stay up a
Come at
little
me with
bit
a knife, I'm
longer.
gonna defend myself.
Randy, did your check succeed or fail?
I rolled a 17.
That's a
I don't know what the
success.
DC is.
It's a success.
The six-
So
okay.
you're one step closer. We said 6 checks, right?
I thought it was 5.
5. That's fine. So what are you at? 1 or 2?
We are at 1.
Okay. So by the time you are done with that, it'll take 5 long rests roughly of successes. So you wake up in the morning a little late. Who wants to be up first to be in charge of the flight deck? I think the only people that know how to fly it are Kasdan
And Icilius.
and Icilius, right?
I did it for a while with labels on it.
Yeah.
Also, I want to make sure I take those labels off before
Yeah,
we
that helps.
pilot or we
Okay.
park the ship.
Oh, and let's throw out all these extra IDs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me think. Is there anything? Oh shit! Some of these doors are just fucking busted. Tits.
Paint new doors.
I wish we would have dealt with this last night. Okay.
Get to painting.
How many doors?
Okay, so you wake up. It's about 10 a.m.
I've
You have
kicked
2
in
hours.
like 3 fucking doors.
You have about 2 hours until you're set to arrive.
At least just fix the one that he was stuck in.
Yeah. I'm gonna try and match it as much as
With
possible.
the paint?
Yeah.
Okay. What are you doing with the door that's attached to it?
Throw it off
overboard.
the
Oh
ship.
god.
Okay, so you guys take the door
Jesus,
off the
what a
hinge. You
fucking
kind of gotta do a little bit of rocking back and forth to get the bottom hinge. And you open the hatch and you toss it into the ocean below.
Toss all the IDs out.
You toss just the scattering of the memories of these people you've murdered. Okay.
They'll never identify
Evelios-
the body.
It
Evelios,
could be beautiful.
as they
Their families are gonna know.
Their families could call the family in to ID the body.
Oh, that'll be a glory. I'm
Doesn't
sure
think
they'll
that
enjoy
happens.
that a lot. Circa us. Not circa, wrong word. Sorry, still laughing at the dead people.
as they do this,
Oh.
due to your natural sense of where the location of the nest is, you're at about 100 minutes,
You got 100 minutes left until we're there.
roughly. So a little over an hour and a half.
All right.
140.
Paint that door.
Okay.
Next time we need to commandeer a vehicle, let's not break it if we need to blend it.
Hey, how about we just hurry up and paint the doors?
Icilius, go and roll me a. Are you driving?
Yeah, I'll drive.
Okay, go and roll me a perception check.
Maybe we could just try to fix
Is
the
that
other
for
one.
like looking out the front window? I assume.
Do you want to have them down?
Oh no.
Okay.
I thought.
He has readouts. He has readouts basically on the panel that aren't like visual necessarily, more like indicators.
I also want to make sure everyone knows the docking code is 17357.
Okay.
Okay.
What'd you get?
14.
14. Okay. Yeah. As you are up in the morning and you start to look at the panel, you do notice there are some different indicators that are on now. And there's a little square panel and there's some lights on either side of you. It seems based on where it places the ship on this panel. And above that in Elven it says proximity. And there are just two orange little lights on this obsidian panel.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead and roll performance check. Do you want to do anything?
No.
Kazan's just getting his his armor and stuff on that he's going to be wearing for this. And you can see as you walk past, go and roll perception. Well, these two are dealing with the door.
21.
She's kind of the foreman right now, being like, no, do this.
Yeah.
And got it. 24?
21.
21? Okay, you walk by Kazdan on the second deck, kind of buttoning up and getting all, and you can hear him going over lines, like rehearsing for the things to come. Did you want to do something?
Where he's driving, is there like a windshield?
So how it works is, do you have you seen the map for the Defiant Bounty?
Not close up, no.
Right. It's I gave it to one of you. I don't know who has it right now.
I have it.
It's in color, I think. Right?
I have one quick question.
Yep.
What do they have a name for the thing that they all go to when they die?
Do you have the map?
have it
Do you
somewhere
speak
I'm
Elvish?
looking
You
for
speak Elvish. Everybody speaks Elvish, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So in Elvish, it's basically the mother.
Okay.
So if you were just to do colloquially that, it'd get you by.
Okay.
You only roll a 15, so it's not like super in depth, but
Maybe I don't have
Do you have the map?
it might be.
You had it earlier. I just
I
saw
know
it.
I did.
This map.
Yes.
Yeah.
You had it. Okay.
Yeah,
I
don't
thought she
know
had
why.
it.
No,
Yeah, I thought
he
you had
had
two.
one.
I definitely had it earlier because I pulled it out with this stuff.
Yeah, he
but now
pulled
I-
it out.
Now I don't know.
We're 12.
There it is, found it.
Children.
Okay. So the very top picture there shows the cabin.
Okay.
There are windows outside of that, but the second one down, there are strong wooden structures that you can latch
Right.
that stay up, kind of to keep the elements out, but you can undo them to get an actual eye view.
Okay.
So if you were to unlatch one side or the other, they kind of push in and then come down, and then it's open air on that second deck. And then the cabin would be shut with some stuff, but usually they use the readouts,
Yeah.
because you're such high altitude, is to keep the temperature regulated basically. But yeah, they undo them at any point. So you can, if you'd like to.
No, I just
Hold
wanted. I
on
didn't
to
know if
the
there was
map.
one where he was driving that I could look at that.
You can go into the cabin and see if there's what the readouts look like, but you do read Elvish,
Yeah.
but you haven't really looked at the panels.
Yeah, no,
and
I'm good.
This was where the map was that Kazdan handed you. as
We
well.
all do speak Elvish, right?
Yeah, every single one of you speaks Elvish, which is very fortunate for this, but only 2 of you speak Aarakocran. Right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
But I can translate. It's fine.
Sure. All right. So, any more questions before we talk about this door?
Kazdan, braid my hair or something so I look more elfy.
Okay. Let's see.
Elfie.
Okay. So performance check 20. Your hair is
Just small braids.
It's not usually what it is there's an undercut and then a pullback and then sometimes there's braids. Sometimes they have one piece of mithril string that they put through or around something, and it's kind of just a piece of home that they take with them. Because the dwarves have their adamantine, the elves have their mithril. And do you have any mithril, anything like that?
I have a mithril chain.
Is that the little one?
Yeah, the one
Okay,
that's...
that'll actually. Oh yeah, you wear your friendship necklace, right? Is that the one with the rose in it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Tired.
Okay.
Shaking
It's
myself
weird.
awake.
I said friendship rose, and he goes. And he like shivered or something.
Fuck all of you, huh?
That'll actually pass. Kazan even mentions like that should do just fine, and so he sort of braids it in two. It starts out with two in the back, and then it curls around the sides to kind of give a
to
simulated
join
undercut.
into one.
So it's braided around
It's like
this,
a half
yeah, and then it
updo.
connects in the back to one long one that comes down about like this, since it's so braided.
Yeah.
So
Also a lot.
almost a Leia, but not. It doesn't go around the ears.
Okay.
So you're braiding along the sides.
It's literally just
Yeah,
a
it's-
side braid into one braid in the back.
it's,
It's the Legolas hairstyle.
Sure, a little
Legolas,
a little
yeah.
Legolas, yeah, that makes sense. But it's thick and is your hair blonde? You can kind of flame on it a little bit.
No, it would be... Would I look better if I could make it...
Well, what color is your hair?
It's red.
It's like that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Elves don't typically have that color. However, you could probably pass it off if someone asked. It's not like they don't change their hair.
Yeah.
So, up to you.
I mean, even like wood elves or anything wouldn't have. Also, my eyes. What about my eyes? They're a little weird.
You can't make yourself be an elf,
I know.
but you can do your best. You're very passable. The professor really did a good job. So, unless you just stare at somebody for a while and like have a staring contest, you should be good if you keep kind of in and out of conversation. Mm-hmm. You feel pretty confident.
Okay.
It's not perfect.
Maybe I should pretend to be blind.
Why are we complicating this? No. What?
I have weird pupilless eyes.
Okay, I feel like you... I don't... Okay, no offense.
It might be obvious. I don't know.
I don't... You know, you have a lot of great qualities.
Some lessons in lying.
I don't know if the consistency needed in a grift where you are a blind person.
What is happening?
Yeah, I...
Did you fart?
No.
Oh, I thought I heard a fucking fart. First stream fart?
That
No,
was me moving on
wasn't.
this fucking chair. My back hurts.
It's okay. Marisha farted the other day,
Oh.
like 2 weeks ago, and cleared it out a little bit.
I'm surprised you haven't farted.
That's actually true. Haven't farted yet.
Yeah. It's bound to happen.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, fine, whatever. I'll just try to look like I'm normal, I guess.
I just think the blind... there's so many balls in the air already. The blindness just throws another thing in there.
That's more of a hatchet.
Yeah, that's...
That said, I'll go along with it. He'll be in a box. Don't know.
Like, aren't they gonna be like, why do we have a
Kasdan seems about the bit so much.
And the blind?
Just all of it. He loves you. Like, you notice, all of you, without having to roll anything, you notice that there's this actor's pride churning. So, any layer that you want to add, he seems game. And he takes you aside at one point while he's working on the thing. He's like, he'll be in a coffin.
I mean,
I'm just saying.
I could, maybe not blind, but like, if anyone says anything about my eyes, I could just say, oh, they're damaged. I don't have the best eyesight, you know?
Sure, I don't know. But I'll go along with whatever happens.
Would they let an elven soldier with not the best eyesight?
It's a priest.
Yeah.
True.
We can make something up.
It just worries me.
If it comes up.
He's excited
Exactly.
about lying like I'm excited about bombs. And also lying, I
And
guess.
bodies. Like, I'm kind of worried.
And bodies,
And
yeah.
bodies.
Bodies
and
don't help.
werewolf hearts.
Werewolf, that's okay. One of these things is not like the others. Werewolf hearts, super interesting. They're hearts from werewolves.
You
Case
like body
closed.
parts and
Like my cousin's
cadavers
ring that you
and
taxidermied
you
for me.
Okay,
looked-
yeah.
you looked into
that
the
was a
pants.
gift.
You looked
It
into
was
the
a
pants.
gift.
Oh, okay. Did you not appreciate the taxidermied wing from your cousin who betrayed you? Because I'm pretty sure that's one of the best gifts you've ever received. That includes violence, spite, fucking family drama. That's like your.
I think
that's
our
your. That's
friendship
the.
is
That's
the
the
best.
was so.
That's like top-
oh,
Wow.
shut up.
That's like top 15 gifts.
Fucking. Everyone should have to make a goddamn con save. Makes me want to throw up. The real quest was the friends who made that.
What was your performance check?
Oh yeah, 17 for the door.
Click a door, looks good, functional, and it doesn't.
Hey.
It opens. There's a little stick
Is
to it.
Professor One coming back?
There's a
Damn.
little stick to it, a little bit.
You gonna start drinking again? You gonna piss yourself?
And shit himself. And throw up on yourself.
Let's deal with one thing at a
I
time.
thought you were better than this.
That's an. You know, I don't. Okay.
Cause right now,
Sir,
the only
we got
difference I'm seeing is that you're a lot more colorful and you have horns.
Wow.
Is it time to get in the coffin
Wow.
yet?
Is it time to get in the coffin yet? Because I am dead. I have been eviscerated. Almost. One more thing. Cover story for you. Did we decide?
I have a different name. I could just be. No. What
No,
would-
I mean, why are you with an elven
That's
unit?
what I was gonna
Be
say.
a
Why would I
translator,
be
an ambassador.
I like
Translator.
this. I like
Translator
this.
would be a good.
Erico can translator.
Translator, ambassador.
Yeah.
Translator would make more sense, right?
I think it would be. Because
I
if
think
I have an ambassador, then I gotta.
Envoy?
If I'm an ambassador or an envoy, I gotta make up a last name. As a translator, I don't need a last name.
Yeah.
It's just.
Probably right.
Less noteworthy.
Yeah, it's nothing that they would even shake a stick at. They're like, oh, what family you're from if you're an ambassador or an envoy. But if I'm not, I'm just a translator, then I'm just a translator.
Yeah.
I like it. So
For
what's
hire.
the name?
Keel.
Keel?
Yeah.
K-I-E-L?
Khil.
K-H-I-L.
How does that sound edgy? Still, like.
Keel.
Because it's almost
My
killed.
name is
My
Keel.
Because it's almost kill.
Yeah.
There's no way any name you said was gonna get not
I know.
roasted.
I
That's okay, because this next question is, and
Rudy
what's your
Keel.
name going to be?
Oh shit. Well, Alenia's already an elvish name, technically.
Yeah, but you should.
But-
I think
Yeah.
maybe just in case we shouldn't say
Yeah.
your name.
Yeah.
How about Kendall? Or
Kendall!
Are there any
There's lots of Elvish names. What do you like?
female names like in that list of cards that we had?
The
Oh
ones
wait,
that
I
we
threw them
threw
out.
The ones that you threw out? There was definitely some.
Caston, what would be a
What?
feminine
Yeah,
elf
yeah.
name?
Have me do it.
I don't know names.
Okay. Parallel.
Parallel? Okay. Does that mean anything stupid?
No.
Okay.
I worked with a lady once named Parallel. She was a fantastic bartender.
Okay.
Parallel. That should be good. Perfect!
What's your name gonna be?
That's a great question. We should go with something in between. Petria.
Petria. Okay.
It's an ex's name.
Alright. I feel like you want to tell us a story.
No!
Okay.
I
You
don't
sure?
know them, but I'm gonna let them
Not about
slide.
that one.
Okay.
Ooh, I should do a voice. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get the bodies. We have to get Coffin ready with the briefcase. Everybody's good. We're gonna be fine.
I find that generally when people say that, that tends not to be the case.
All
Once
of
we
our
get to
plans
Sola,
normally-
everything will be fine. Everybody be in tip-top shape, huh?
Always in.
All right.
All right, let's
For
get
some
in the
reason,
bomb.
it's not reassuring.
All right, we won't close the door until after we land. But the two of you should prepare. There will be enough space in there, I assume, for the both of you to be comfortable. I haven't actually looked inside.
Yes, there should be.
Okay. All right. So basically, for this, Constitution modifier is how many minutes of air you have after you have to hold your breath. With two of you in there, you'll have roughly 5 to 10 minutes, depending on the situation.
Isn't it 1 plus your con mod?
It is 1.
Yeah, one
Yeah.
plus your con. I'm sorry, did I say it wrong?
Yeah,
I
you
think I
said
just
just
said
your
my
con
modifier.
mod, so you would have 0.
Right. Oh yeah, 1 plus your con mod. Well, do you have -1?
Yeah. So 0.
You have to make Constitution checks as you save anything over a round, which is sad. You have like asbestos lungs or something.
Smoker
A
line.
-1
No, he's got
con
popcorn
mod
lungs.
typically indicates some sort of malady, for the record.
He's very sickly.
Not usually, but we'll see.
Maybe
So,
it's from the years of alcoholism.
Different body, though.
there's
What
lots of
makes sense.
carryover effects.
Yeah.
I actually wouldn't be
The lo-
surprised. My headcanon is the self-abuse.
Malformed lungs, they're just...
Yeah. So,
Does the liver not regenerate?
very... It's not... I'm not even purple, I'm just very jaundiced beyond any recognition.
You should actually be like red or something, but you're tiefling jaundice.
all
You
right,
have yellow eyes, it tracks.
they're going to beckon us at some point here, and then I don't know what happens.
What was the dot code again?
It is...
That's important. I should know that because
Yes.
I think I have to talk to them, right?
17357.
Let me...
17357.
No, hold on, wait. That sounds wrong.
17357.
17357,
Yeah,
yep.
I have it written down.
Okay.
All right.
I'm glad we all said it 5 times just to make sure. That'd be a bad thing to fuck up right away.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
It'd be a very Han Solo as they're breaking the
last
princess
one.
out.
Everything's
I see.
alright.
How are you?
Hand me the last will, please. Of Dicene. Okay, have that ready. I think we're good.
Okay. I say to Icilius, the good thing about being in this dark hole is we won't be stuck here for like 5 years if this goes wrong. We'll just die. So, bright side.
Is that a
Yeah.
bright side?
Hopefully sooner rather than
If
later.
you die in there, you're gonna explode inside of it.
Oh fuck yeah. Yeah, there'd be radiant energy.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you'd explode from inside there.
I'm gonna cast Death Ward on you.
Probably
No,
got
no, no,
8
no,
on
no,
him,
no,
too.
no, no magics.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
No magics.
Also, no one used the arm.
Just in case.
No one used the communication
but
armbands.
if he's inside of the thing.
Just in case.
No, just no spells.
He won't die.
I don't know
It's
if the
fine.
glass is up, but it may be later. I don't know.
If he's inside of the briefcase, would it matter?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's an open.
Also, I have to come
It's
out of the
not lead.
briefcase at some point.
Okay, alright.
Also, the bags of holding are.
Don't die.
Where? You have backpacks.
We gotta put him in the coffin, right? Didn't you paint it with compartments to hide our stuff?
I did.
Yeah.
I had like compartments and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
shove our bags in there.
Okay, so all the bags and any magical. Anything that gives off magic should probably be stowed.
So, like, bows, quiver. Fuck, okay. My armor? You said my
Your
armor,
armor
you said my
should be
armor was good.
fine.
I put away my pendant.
It's
in
not an
the
active
bag.
effect until it is.
That's
Does that make
true.
sense?
It
What
only
else?
affects
That's
when I get
fine.
hit by that specific.
Like your spear, but that just disappears.
Your spear, you
But
can just with the
Shield
shield.
has to go in the
shield
bag.
has to go in the
Goggles?
bag. Goggles aren't necessarily magical. It's more of a
Just like a
It's more of a mechanical.
Okay.
yeah.
What about the ring?
You actually don't know. You definitely can't use the ring.
Yeah.
So It doesn't have it doesn't have innate
Well, they
magical
did say
properties,
that
does it?
they did say that having magic items
What's the-
probably won't trip things,
I
but
other people on the islands must have magic.
Yeah.
It depends on what you do. Like, definitely invisibility
using them would fucking set things
Yeah.
off.
would. Right.
Anything
It's
that
probably just safest to stow as much as you can. And you
Oh,
can stow quite a bit
I
down
have
there.
the-
Plus, you can put the stuff in the bags in the haversacks and then inside the compartments, and it's
I have and I'll put the my flail in there too.
okay.
I have the magic glaive that the captain had. If he wants that,
Yes.
here, I give him the glaive.
Perfect.
This was so long ago.
So, is Julia going to ping as magical?
The underbarrel is magical.
Okay, can I just detach that?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna have to stow that and then my cloak of displacement.
Oh yeah.
I don't have it anymore.
So anything magical, just to be the cloak of displacement is an active effect that would ping.
Right.
So, stowing these things outside of arcane glass areas is probably ideal.
We should take off our communicator bands.
It does have a name magic effect.
What's that?
If I get targeted by a spell, I get advantage. If it's only a single target.
That's if you're targeted by a spell.
Okay, so then. no.
My armor.
Like, it's not actively displacing you in space like the Displacer
That's
Beast
cool.
cloak.
Yeah, no. Then
My
no.
You can-
armor and my spear should be fine because I can kind of de-summon them.
Once
Right?
you your AC does go down to the flat,
Yeah.
but you're wearing the other armor, which is studded leather.
Yeah.
So it's what's that?
It's just flat because I don't have dex.
11?
Studded? I think it's 13 plus dex.
I think
or
it's
12.
13 plus dex.
Yeah.
So I'm at 13.
Yeah.
Is it
which
just normal
crazy.
studded?
Yeah,
Oh
no,
my
it's
vulnerable.
no. I'm sorry. It's +1 studded leather for the Elven army.
So 14.
Wait, you're using the priest stuff. That's half plate.
Oh.
That's half plate.
Oh, half plate.
Yeah.
So that is.
I can look it up.
I got it.
It's in the PHBs if you got them around there.
We don't have one back here. I
No
don't think.
PHBs? Are you just looking it up?
No.
I'll look at
15.
So just flat 15.
And then you have disadvantage on stealth.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So it is half plate. It's got green priestly robes that come
Is
out
it
from
+1
below
though?
the half plate.
Is it +1?
It is +1, so
you have
16.
Oh God, I haven't had this low of an armor class since the
Plus you
beginning of the
getting
campaign.
rid of your magic weapons and stuff for now. Like your wand has to be doesn't have active stuff, but it's magical.
Yeah, no.
Your psychic paper is though.
Okay.
My necklace is magical, so I'm gonna stow that too.
Yeah.
Since I had to use the chain anyway.
So be aware of what you are not carrying, because it's atypical at this point. Your katanas don't have an active
Because they're
magical
bound by
effect.
blood too, so.
Right.
What is my spellcasting?
So, but if you imbue them, they're immediately magical.
Yeah.
What counts as my spellcasting focus?
You're using your necklace.
It used to be my necklace,
It's
right?
still your necklace, isn't it?
Because I transferred the enchantment over from
Right.
one to the other, so the
Yeah.
necklace is
It's
the
been
focus.
your necklace for quite a while, I
Okay.
believe. Yeah. His is the wand. You don't really have one, and neither does Icilius, so.
Technically, I can cast with my hands full because Warcaster, but
Yeah. Yep.
other than that, I'd need material
Yeah,
components.
no. Everything on the ring is activated, so.
Okay.
Yeah, put our communicator bands away.
Can we take
Okay.
those off? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You can take them off since the basically the explosion.
We just never had
You've
a
been
reason.
able to take them off.
We just never had a reason to. Because
Nope.
they worked really well.
Yeah.
Alright.
You were technically released for a little
Yeah.
bit, but the magic on them, besides the communication, is totally gone. So, you're in the coffin with Icilius
In the briefcase.
in the briefcase, waiting for it to close at the last moment. We're all out. There is a boom at the console. Am I taking this?
Yes.
Seems like it.
All right.
I'll go with you as well.
Okay. Walks up to the bridge, and you get this silence. There's a crackle, and then kind of like a message spell, but sent throughout just the cabin. You hear... Talking code?
It's Kasdan, right?
That's not Kasdan's voice.
Well, no, but he's the one that has to answer.
Kasdan is
Yeah.
answering. 17357. This is the Defiant Bounty. Requesting docking. Okay. You may land. The slip coordinates will be on your console. Please note that this vessel has been flagged, so please remain inside and open your lift that we may enter. Yes, we will do. Thank you very much. We've sustained some casualties, so we'll just stay in here. It's a brief pause. All right, begin process.
Can I try to
Help! Okay, so who wants to help?
I could, us?
Us?
Oh god, we're
Okay.
both in the fucking thing.
Why don't you both roll perception checks?
Oh,
We can
God.
read it. Okay.
Natural 20.
28.
Okay,
All right.
23. Okay, so after a little bit of an initial like, there is very quickly, you find docking, and that's pressed. The walls start to come down. There are lights at the beginning, at the front and the back, that start to blink. This nice soft blue light. And the autopilot enchantment basically takes over, and you feel this as it sort of lists and starts to descend down past the clouds and in. And you see on their proximity, it looks like you've been being followed for about an hour without being hailed. So it looks like there's an escort of some kind on the sides here.
Yikers.
Well, good thing we threw stuff out.
Oh, yeah, because they probably
2
said-
hours ago.
Yeah. Good call.
Maybe they didn't see that.
Wait, didn't we throw the stuff out?
We
the day
threw
before?
a door out like 2 hours ago.
It was broken. We were fixing it. I don't see the problem there. It's okay. We got it. It's fine. It's fine.
You're in the clouds, and it just starts to dip down. This process will take, looks like, about 5 minutes. Is there anything you want to do in that 5 minutes? Because you're in the cabin. Outside of the cabin, on the top deck, the things that have been keeping the elements out have closed. You see, it's a bright day. It is chilly, though. It's kind of like a sunny day in the fall.
Your belt.
What?
Your belt?
Oh, I assume I put everything
Yeah.
away.
Okay, I didn't know if that counted or not. So
I
double check.
I put everything magical in there.
So yeah, your strength is at whatever it is base-wise.
15.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Still
go
strong
and
as fuck.
I'm gonna go and grab the bodies and then kind of lay them out in a row and then cover them with sheets.
Okay.
Smart.
All right. Anything you want to do?
Nope.
All right. Kasdan sits there. It's like, all right. I think that was the hard part. I think when someone's in front of me, I think I can bullshit them, but that was all official jargon. That just,
We nailed it, though.
you can't make it up. I didn't say quadrant at all.
Nailed it.
I know.
You nailed it. It's fine.
Okay, so you kind of walk down, opens the door, shuts it behind. Walks down a little further. You activate the lift as you were instructed. About 2 more minutes. Slowly coasting in. And what's your passive perception? It's pretty high, right?
19.
19, yeah. As you leave the cabin and look to the side, there are 2 elven open air airships. Seem to be more like, not necessarily skiffs, but they certainly don't look like they're fit for battle. It looks more like just a something to help guide anything in the airspace, and also if there's anything that goes afoot, and I don't know, they could be of nefarious origins, and if the airship is commandeered or something, there's people nearby to respond. So it doesn't seem like, you don't see any people being very aggressive. And they don't seem to, because I mean you're in open air when you walk out of that, no one seems to, like, as you kind of look around inconspicuously, no one seems to point at you, or so you don't feel very threatened necessarily, but you are being watched. Definitely. Okay. Kind of comes to a little bit of a halt. And you immediately get the sounds of this rustling encampment where the elves are. There are many people at these docks. It's almost like a shipping dock, just in the air, just without that sound of water. You kind of expect the sound of water almost, as the ship sort of creaks into place and you hear ropes being attached to the outside, pulled tight, and you hear people saying similar jargon to when you're in shipping yards. But all in Elvish, which is new. You actually haven't been to a full Elven community ever, unless you want to count the Drow, which was not the same language and not nearly the same feel. Even here, even though now it's dangerous, the Drow felt menacing, whereas this just kind of feels like people going about their day, but in a very rigid fashion. There are tents around. You see, it's very well organized. It doesn't seem like you've seen some battle encampments. This doesn't seem anything more than nice warm tents that people can stay in, because this place is a little overpopulated. You don't see, as you kind of come down, you don't see arcane glass up, because when you look, you do see these blue domes over top of many of the islands, specifically your home.
Yep.
To the south of you where the eagles live, to the north where the hawks live. But right now it seems where the elves are being allowed to dock, it's good. The other 2 vessels that were following you on either side also start to dock, but instead of sitting in a slip, they attach themselves to the back of the Defiant Bounty.
We still have a little bit of time, I assume.
You probably have 30 seconds.
What was the name of that city?
Which
that we're
city?
Taking the body to.
Oh.
Arendelle?
Yeah, I just want
Arendelle.
the spelling.
It is, just so I make sure I give it to you properly, the body's Aerendyl.
So just Arendelle?
Arendelle.
Okay.
It's
Sounds very Lord of the Rings-y.
yeah, a little bit. It's is that numbered on your map, or
It is on here. This
Yeah,
one.
it's
on the world
numbered,
map.
I think so.
or is it labeled?
It might be labeled.
It's labeled.
It's to the west of.
Oh, it's just labeled, not no, nothing is numbered on here.
Right. Okay. I numbered mine.
It's over here.
Yeah, it's
here.
west of the
Violet Fields.
Violet Fields and stuff like that. Okay. Anything else? So right now you're technically west of Andot in north of Araskali. All L's. And you start to hear the footsteps. These two get shut in a briefcase underneath a body in the coffin. Okay, so right now you have about 10 minutes of air.
Okay.
And then we'll see what happens. So, you see a very tall elf walk in up front with similar armor to what similar armor as Kazdan is wearing right now. But it's got some more gold trim on it. It's not just this blackguard armor. It seems to be a higher rank. You're not quite sure. Bald with a thin beard here into a long chin beard. And there are some other soldiers behind.
Stand at like attention, basically.
Walks in. Doesn't seem very threatening. Ah, welcome. To find bounty? And this is all in Elvish, of course. We had reports that there was difficulty with the orcs.
Unfortunately, yes.
I see. And the Aarakocran with you?
Translator.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a deception check.
What is that under? 14.
Oh, you have nothing to add.
I have +0. It's just flat
Okay.
rolls.
Looks at you for a minute. All right. Well, what do we have here? Who are the deceased here? This is not a full crew.
We didn't quite have enough time to grab everyone and bring them back.
I understand.
The orcs were attempting to invade the ship.
There was so much death.
We fought them off bravely. It's true. Go ahead and give me deception checks from everybody. We're gonna take an average here. Nat 20.
Nat 20. Holy
Oh god, deception is not...
What's your charisma?
It's okay. 16.
Okay, he rolled a 27.
Hey.
Feels pretty good. Excellent. I'm glad that at least some of you made it. The orcs, dirty beings, just filth.
Savage. Don't.
And the it's according to my information, the Defiant Bounty was at the keep. I don't know if we have a name for it, but he gives some military jargon.
Mm-hmm.
Saying names and quadrants, and he goes on for a little bit. And it kind of starts flying over your head. You don't know what, like, at all what's being said necessarily. We'll have to double our efforts there, I guess. Tell me, how many orcs?
It was so fast.
Well, we sent out a scouting party first, and they never came back. And then we were ambushed at the tower.
Standard procedure. All right. Well, I'm glad that you managed to get the bodies. Usually burn them.
We tried our best to get as many as we could.
We got our lieutenant and 2 others, but...
Is that who the coffin's for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I suppose we'll take the bodies, dispose of them.
We actually...
Any motions to the men to grab the 2 bodies in the casket?
We actually have a written will for the lieutenant.
A written will?
Yes.
It's interesting. Okay. Let me see it, please. Kazdan unfolds it and looks at it. Sort of hands it. Being a little hammy. Performance check successful. You immediately see the maybe admiral or somewhere underneath that of this force tries to go and make an insight check.
All of us.
Just the two. Well, the two. Of you.
21.
21.
21.
Okay, yeah.
9 plus 10.
You can see that
16
he's
plus 15
dealt
plus
with
6.
dead soldiers so often that he's like feigning support.
Mm-hmm.
So he kind of like looks at it and goes, you know, but
Yeah, it's
He's kind of numb.
Every
to it.
day.
very numb. It's clearly very like,
It happens constantly.
yeah. By the way, that's 2 minutes.
Okay.
oh god.
How long do you have?
10.
10.
Okay. That's okay. We got 8 minutes. a long time.
Sort of looks it over. See a tear from this well-written will.
This Disney script.
Buried with her wife. Okay. Folds it back up and hands it. We can provide you with a small craft to take the body back, and we'll give you, let's call it a week of leave, and then we expect you to be back, of course. But first, obviously, we need you to be processed, so if you could, you can take the coffin yourself,
Thank you.
and we'll take these other two, and we'll give them military funerals. Thank you. Thank you for being brave for the new empire. And he sort of motions to the soldiers, and he walks out with heavy steps, seemingly for the first time in a while affected by the sad tale of that last will and testament. You're down to 3 minutes. Well,
Up
3
to
minutes
3
of
minutes.
yeah.
Yeah.
So 7
I
minutes
was like,
left
holy shit, that was 4 minutes.
without having to hold your breath. And who's grabbing the casket?
I'll take one end.
Okay.
Probably you.
Aston?
Oh shit, I'm weak as fuck.
I'm pretty strong.
Okay, I'll do it. Okay.
Okay. Go and roll me strength checks.
Come on, dice be generous.
Or athletics, I guess.
Ooh,
Same
boy.
difference, really.
5.
5?
It would only be a 15 is a +2 or a +3?
+2.
Plus
So 14.
14 and a 5. Okay, you're kind of bringing up the rear, and you guys in the briefcase feel a as Avelios is like 2-arming it. Elenia just has 1 and is kind of walking it down, and Kazan comes up and is like, okay, I'll help.
I told you.
I'm not very strong either. Kind of lifts it up. Just starts to go. Walks downstairs. Okay, so you see in front of you, again, you see the encampment that you saw from up top. And as you walk down, it's very tread on, but wooden. It's not super clean, but elves try to be as clean as they can. But because these are people typically being sent out and coming back from missions, not everything is as able to be kept as usually you see elven things kept. There's not like this. Usually in war camps, there's like this sense of injury and pain And you don't really get that. You get more of a business as usual vibe. It doesn't seem anything's going one way or the other. As far as mood is concerned, people are both laughing and serious, depending on where you're at. And you walk through, and basically it's a long dock with several other ships, and you see dozens of ships that look similar, a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller to the Defiant Bounty. All of them are roughly the same design. Some of them don't have the 2-deck structure, some have the single deck, some have 3. The ones with 3 have many, many weapons on them. Kind of like ship cannons, but they seem arcane in nature. It seems like a mix between what you saw in Mechanus and what you see in the normal waters, kind of near Tin Top and stuff, and in the Kloss Bay region. It's cool. There's kind of this smell of... It's almost like a fuel to it. But immediately, you are home. It's weird. It's not like you imagined it was going to be. You definitely get that feeling of this is the place I live.
But it's
But it's so foreign. It's like moving into a new house almost. Yeah, this is where I stayed once.
It's like if the town we're from got more stoplights.
Right, yeah. It's really weird. It's
More than one?
Yeah.
You weirdly feel more at home in the Hartnell than you do here. Now, you're not home.
Yeah.
It's just the nest at large, but it's not... There's like a piece missing. It's not as fulfilling as you imagined it would be. But you kind of shake that off and think, well, home. And you can see it. You can see where this is with a large mass. It's off a ways, maybe a mile or so. But you can see the dome, and you can see this large shard that's been punched through the center of it your whole life. And at the top of that is the temple. That's one of the iconic things you remember of it. It's little on top, like a little Roman temple with these large columns, and from here it looks like a pin needle. But you know, once you get closer, the smells will come back, and you feel like that'll be really home.
Velios is tearing up but trying to hide it.
Yeah. Go and roll a Constitution save. Luckily, you're holding a corpse.
Yeah.
9!
Okay. There are definitely tears welling. But when soldiers walk by you and they see you, they assume it's the coffin that you're holding. So it's not that bad. You look back and you see Avelios being affected emotionally in a way that he doesn't usually exhibit. He's not really a crier. He's more of a hold it in.
He's a cutter.
Wow. Wow.
I'm more of an angry.
Yeah.
He is a cutter.
So you get to the end of the dock, and there are, you're surrounded by thousands of soldiers. Literally thousands of these elven soldiers, and in front of you is probably a dozen, paying attention to you, roughly 6, with one of them being in charge. Whatever the rank of the officer was that encountered you stayed behind as he walked out, and you sort of pass. He was kind of orchestrating the search of the cabin itself, and kind of, but has dismissed you. Your story seems to have checked out, and there's some people going in that are basically cleaning up the corpses and kind of taking stock of what's available on the ship. And so, you get to the end, and you're asked to put the casket down.
Okay, put it down.
Yes, we would like to process you now. So, I haven't seen you here before, so this might be new for you. But, one at a time, please. Please step forward, whoever is first. We'll end with you, of course, and he points to Kasdan, who is given deferential treatment.
I'll step forward.
Okay, so you step forward, scans your face. Okay. Name, please.
Oh,
And it's just, it looks like every other soldier, really. At this point, they're getting pretty uniform. Again, undercut, pulled back, ponytail. It seems like the standard military cut here. This one has a scar on the cheek. Doesn't look super old, but you kind of get that military brat feel, where the other ones seem like they worked for it. This one seems like he got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Paralegal, sir.
Apparently. Okay, yes. Alright. And, what was the business of
Of our trip,
your mission, yes?
we were routinely going back and forth to help at the fort, to fight back against the orcs and defend our placement there.
Yes, okay. And, armband check, please.
Oh, I hold out my armband.
Yes, and, holds it up, grabs it, eyes closed, opens. Alright, is in working order. Okay. And, you have been randomly selected. Please step over here to my associate, and he will have some further questions.
Okay.
All right. Just in case there's imposters among us.
Understandable.
All right. Next up,
Step
please
forward.
step forward. Name, please, and you kind of are taken.
Try to get through TSA.
Not in an aggressive way. You're kind of taken by the arm in a soft way to this very nice soldier. She doesn't really introduce herself, but she's like, "It really is random," and then you're kind of taken over and you're sat in a chair, and there's just a table in front of you, and there's sort of, if you look around, there's sort of like it's like painted circle on the deck itself, and no one's really going in there.
Oh, I wonder if it's like an anti-magic field.
And on the table there's a pitcher of water, glass, and then some runic carvings around the edge of the table.
Oh god.
And it's a nice chair. It feels fine. It's not weird. You don't feel any effect
Okay.
or anything yet. And then we're gonna go to you.
Oh no.
Name, please.
Keel.
Keel. How do you spell that?
Khil.
And that's, of course, in Elven. So whatever those letters are in Elven.
Yeah.
Keel, okay. Business with the soldiers here.
I was a translator for them for Eric.
Translator. You say something in Aarakocran for him?
Yeah, I say my name and why I was there in Eric instead.
Sort of a fan. Armband check, please. Makes it. Closes his eyes. Perfect. Working order. Of course. And you are good to go if you just want to stand over here and wait for your friends and your co-mates, or you, if you're in Aarakocran, you are free to peruse to the other islands as well. If you don't want to fly yourself, there are taxis systems that can take you to and from any other island.
Thank you, sir.
As you probably are aware, it's Elven, so I don't know.
Oh,
Sure.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And you, sir.
Oh no.
Yes! Petria, at your service. Okay, that covers the first question. What is your business here? Oh, well, as you can see, we were the victims of a orc horde, and they fought. Sorry. They fought bravely. This one here set to be buried with her wife, and he got hands. Guy starts to read it. Seems to hold himself together. Holds it up and hands it back.
That's a good forgery. I need to frame that and put it on the harness somewhere.
You guys are at 5 minutes.
I'm glad you can't see the reaction.
There's a.
Can we hear anything on the inside of the...
What a perception check. It's pretty muffled.
I assume
It'll be with
we're in
disadvantage as well.
We're in a box
Yeah.
box. I'm just curious. Where did the other one go?
Went this right there.
Oh, which one was it?
Oh, I think maybe you just did a D12 on accident. Unless that's a D20.
I'll just do it again. 16.
16? You could definitely hear that it gets presented, and then there's a long period of silence.
I nudge Icilius and I'm like, that will fucking rocks.
Yeah. Okay, armband check, please.
There's no time for sighing. We only have so much air. We don't have time for your exasperation.
Checks
more
the
you talk-
armband, and that's fine.
He said it'll last longer than...
All right, and would you like help with the casket to be loaded onto? I'm told that you are to be given a military skiff or craft of some sort. Kind of looks over to Avelios. Says, "No, we'll take it ourselves. She was our comrade." She was our comrade, and she means a lot to us, so if it's all the same, we'll take her. Okay, and he kind of waves you back over. You're allowed to walk back past the line. As you guys pick that up, I'm not going to make you make strength checks again. You guys have kind of figured out the weight to it. Yeah. You're sat down. Another person walks up, and it's a much more gruff-looking older elf. Immediately, you get the sense that this person is... not just going through the motions, that they like live for this shit. Well, he sort of rubs a scruff on the beard. This is a much more gruff-looking, battle-hardened elf than you usually see. This ear is clipped on the top. Looks like it was like just hewn off at some point. This ear has several bone earrings in it. Go and roll perception.
12.
12? They look like pinky bones. Sharpened to a point and kind of like used as plugs all the way up. It's got the undercut, but it's not pulled back. It's just sort of around, kind of like just over. And puts his hands through his hair. Randomly selected, eh?
Yeah.
All right. Well. Sort of runs fingers over the runes. And I need you to make a save.
Is it...
I'm so afraid to think I know what this is going
Yep,
to be.
Is it a charisma save?
Yeah, I need you to make a charisma save as Zone of Truth.
Oh, fuck!
It's okay, guys.
Of course
I
it
had a really
would be
good
you,
one.
too, the person Hugo's most worried about.
Oh god.
I didn't plan it, it was totally the dice.
What was the one? It was just
50%
like
chance.
Oh, fuck.
It was just random.
Hold on. I'm gonna use favored by the gods. Oh fuck. Okay. Alright.
Okay.
21.
21. You are not under the effects of Zone of Truth. But it's the table that does it, not him. He doesn't know this.
Oh!
Name?
Paraleo.
You see he looks towards the pitcher of water. Business.
Defending the fortress against the orcs. And...
Now I gotta make a deception check.
fuck. Natural fucking 20,
He
bitch!
rolled a natural 18. Wow.
24!
You can see he's very discerning.
I'm sorry. I'm a little shaken up. We lost a lot of people, and it's really stressful. I'm new at this.
I'm sure it is. Let me see that armband.
Grabs it. He pulls it down your arm. Doesn't take it off. But it's like loose around your almost wrist now.
There's a little blood on it. Is that yours?
She succeeded and is not under the effect of Zone of Truth.
It might be, or someone else's. I had to move some bodies.
Slides it back up your arm and like... He's showing you he's strong. Looks down at the water.
All right, you're free to go.
Thank you, sir.
Have a wonderful day. Sorry about your friends.
Get up and walk back over. Help
All
them
right.
with the coffin.
So you get up and you walk back over. You are no longer being inspected by people. You are just carrying a coffin. You walk back over to Avelios.
Honestly, I was
It is-
the best person to be put in that because my charisma is bonkers.
Plus
Bitch,
0.
plus 8.
Plus 0.
If it would have been him, he would have been fucked.
Yep. Yeah. Well, no, I would have had it. No, I wouldn't have had advantage.
I also used Favored by the Gods to make sure I fucking succeeded on that.
It was a pretty high one, too. You did good.
Yeah.
So, you guys are at 6 minutes. Walking across to get a vessel. Or you can take a taxi, as that was mentioned and you brought up.
What would be quicker?
Well, it's a coffin. Don't know. We have access to an airship, but
But we need to get to Sola.
Let's hurry up and get this into the airship.
But then we have to go to Sola. On this airship? That's kind of suspicious.
Okay, we can't go with. I have an idea. What if we send it with someone going back?
But take the briefcase out.
Okay.
We need to find a place to take the briefcase out and carry it very calmly over to a taxi,
And then we just get the fuck out of
and then we go to Sola.
Okay.
Deal?
Yeah.
Deal.
How much time has it been?
5 minutes? 6 minutes?
5 or 6 minutes?
Something like
we
that.
have to probably
We have to-
hurry up. That's probably not great in there. All right. Okay. Let's do it.
All right.
Okay, so you start walking around with this coffin. What are you looking for to try to... So you need to find basically an airship to get rid of the coffin
Yeah.
and the body, but also take the briefcase out. So ideally...
Make sure you get the haversacks too.
Mm-hmm.
And everything that's...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we should find a tent or something that's empty.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, alright.
We can probably use this as an excuse to get an empty tent.
Okay, alright. Do we just want to be forward about it, or do we want to sneak into a tent?
Probably
should be
before,
forward
but
about
we
it.
look like we should.
Yeah.
I am in charge. I'm in charge.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Whew. Okay, alright.
Uh-oh.
Alright, let's walk over. Help me find someone that's under me.
Are we just looking?
Yeah. Make an investigation check or a perception check, depending on how wide your
Perception?
scope is going to be.
I'll do perception.
Okay.
Good enough.
With sight, I assume.
Are you wearing your goggles? You could, right?
Yeah, they're not. They're
Good.
mechanical. 19.
19. Yeah, you scope out a few places. Specifically, Kasdan points out one area, but there's in that area that he points to, and there are definitely lower ranking people. But you notice there's kind of like a bed check going on in that area, and so the sergeant is walking through and making sure people are taking care of their stuff. There's another place not far. It's a few rows down because they're kind of basically in columns and rows. And it seems like these are just brand new signees that seem like basically marks that you could try to swindle out of a bed spot for a little bit. you want to try.
Yeah.
All right. So you walk over. Do you want me to do it, or do you want to do it? Okay. I'm gonna try a voice. Hey, you cunts!
Why is he Australian?
Do a voice.
I need this space. We've got to spend some time. And you see these couple like ensigns. Like look, like when they hear cunts, they kind of turn their head and they're like, "Fuck yeah, yes, right away." And they sort of walk away. So you guys have a tent. It's small, but it's a tent. What do you want to do?
Is it just us in the tent?
Yeah, it's basically just this.
Like,
It could be pulled, but it's small.
Yeah.
It's a good 7x7 tent.
Okay.
Close the tent.
It's got a foot
do you want
locker.
to stand outside the
It's
tent?
got
Yeah,
a
I'll
it's
keep
got a
watch
cot
outside.
and it's got a little area where it looks like a kind of a stove that's just got a rune inside that gives off heat.
I'll stand outside of the tent so they have more room.
So you stand outside.
And then we're just gonna get everything.
All right. Okay. I'll lift up the body. Okay, you get the
Yep,
stuff.
I'm gonna grab all the.
Okay, so you grab all the stuff. We're just keeping it in the briefcase with them.
We can't put some stuff in the briefcase. Yes.
The haversacks would be a bad
Hey. Parallel.
Yeah, parallel.
Parallel.
What?
Can I have your assistance?
Sure. Walk in.
Come back in. Wow, we're gonna just wear these backpacks?
Would it be weird to have backpacks?
I don't know.
I assume that we would have personal gear or
Is there
something.
other stuff people are wearing?
I look outside, see
Hey,
if
roll a
anyone's
perception
got
check.
bags. 7.
7. Best you can see, there's a few people that have like carts with stuff on it. You don't know what the purpose is, but there's definitely people like, there's almost all of them are low-level military members, and they have carts and they're covered.
I've got to imagine that there are people with personal effects.
You just want to wear them and see what happens.
Yeah.
I think if we just
What's the worst that can happen?
We could be spotted and murdered.
I think as long as
It's
we
not
look
standard military issue is the problem.
Yeah, but in our situation, I don't think that's
Sure.
much to worry about.
7 minutes.
We need to hurry.
should we open the case and let them get some air?
I don't see why not.
That's a small idea.
We can't put the...
No.
We have to put everything we can put in the briefcase, I think.
Just except for the haversack.
Should we just leave the haversacks here?
Empty them out and leave
Empty
them
them out?
Oh god.
And just
You want to?
just empty the haversacks.
They're gonna be pretty uncomfortable.
I mean,
They don't have a fucking choice.
yeah.
There's also a bag of colding.
Yeah.
I left a
Aw.
bag of colding on the heart.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Smart man.
Yeah, let's dump everything in on their heads. Hey guys!
Okay, so you get some fresh air. It's starting to get a little humid in there. Were you guys talking about anything while it was happening?
For some reason, I have a
Very
feeling the
awkward
professor
silence.
would have been steering the conversation to mayonnaise no matter what. And despite how annoyed he would certainly get.
So you hear the professor say
Icilius
something
is
about
dead
mayonnaise,
'cause
and
he's
you
killed
hear
himself.
Icilius sigh. You assume you know what that conversation was.
Hey guys, sorry.
We're about
you
to
can
dump a
literally
bunch
look-
of shit on your
What?
heads.
You didn't have
Move.
to tell him.
You look down in.
No.
You look down into this briefcase, and it's like looking down into a 10-foot pit that these two are standing in.
Hi.
Move out of
It's
the way.
pretty weird.
I throw
Get
my
to the
shield
sides.
down there.
We start dropping all our shit. Wait,
the fuck?
question. The quiver, that
Yeah.
doesn't work like a bag, correct?
Nope, it's not
Okay.
the same. It's
Because
not
it can
quite-
hold
It basically
multiple-
produces.
Because the quiver can hold 60 arrows, a bunch of arrows,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
javelins and stuff, so...
It's not pocket dimensions so much
Okay.
as you like feed it these things and it gives it back.
It's almost like...
I don't know how to.
it's
Like
almost
you
like-
couldn't go in
It
it.
summons
it's almost
like
like
the
an
way I
endless
do with
thing.
my.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's like it doesn't work the same way as a bag of holding,
I
where
just-
you can't put anything in.
Yeah, it can only hold
It can only put
things.
those specific
Yeah.
types of things.
Okay, I just want to make sure that wouldn't fuck anything up.
Okay. Yeah, we just start pouring all of our magic items in on you guys.
We have to.
And you're leaving the haversacks behind?
Yep.
Oh
Okay.
god, those are so expensive. That was
Yeah.
like 20. How much was that?
It
Wasn't
was only like 2,000 gold for all of them.
I don't think that was.
We'll get a new bag of holding.
Oh god.
It's not that big of a deal. Just fucking deal with
We
it.
do
Close the
recognize that
briefcase.
we're putting all of
And
our
we just
stuff
Close.
You can still talk to Icilius about it.
Mid-sentence, just
You guys are surrounded by
They,
shit.
they can hear a little bit.
I say to Icilius, they realize they just put all of our belonging inside of a bomb, right? Did they forget this is a bomb? This is a bomb!
Can I hear them saying that?
Roll perception
passive?
check.
If the two of you die, it's over anyway.
Well, roll
so
perception check because there's so much going on.
You're in the bomb.
Same as my passive, so 19.
But if we need the
You
entire
can hear muffled like, "This was a bomb," and you go, "This is a bomb."
We fucking know.
if we need to
Hey,
use
shut the fuck up!
For 5
They
fucking
can hear you
minutes.
screaming.
God.
Kasdan cracks it open. Just whisper.
Okay, if we need to use this, is the suitcase less suspicious than the backpack?
Yes.
Yes.
I think
Yes,
so.
Definitely. No one else has backpacks.
Okay, if we get into a no fucking win scenario and I gotta blow this shit up, don't be mad when all your stuff is gone.
I'll be pissed.
None of it's mine. Deal. Okay, so Kasdan's carrying a briefcase. It shifts a little bit, but the gravity seems to always go in a way because it's
like a
fabric.
gyroscope.
Like the hole at the top. It's pretty dark in there. You can cast light yourselves, and maybe you have been, but
I'll have taken out my spellcasting focus and just keep it in a pocket since it's not an active magic.
well, you can
thing.
wait. It seemed to pass off as Elven anyway. It's mithril, so it doesn't really matter.
Well, the chain is in my hair, so I can't really wear the pendant.
No. I was asking. I'm sorry. I missed. I was asking. Usually it's mithril string in the hair. He didn't put it in your hair. The mithril. Just having mithril.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
No,
Then
no,
I would have kept
sorry,
it
I
on. Then.
confused you
Yeah.
with the description. Yeah. So you just would have been wearing it.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
would have been just fine.
Okay.
Usually there's a token of mithril somewhere on an elven person.
Yeah.
So for Kasdan, there's armor in the mithril, but so.
Because it was just mithril and quartz.
Yeah,
necklace, so.
yeah. So it totally works. Rose quartz, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Just like I these.
So, briefcase, new 10 minutes because it was opened. So going pretty well. Gotta find.
If this goes flawless, I'm.
Okay, so we gotta pick up the casket and give it to somebody
Yes.
with the will.
Yes.
Deal. And those. Yeah, and you put the things in the compartments. No one's going to search through a casket, probably. So, in a 1,000 years, this corpse will be exhumed, and there will be haversacks in there.
Why are there 3 empty haversacks?
Future adventures will be like, fuck yeah. Look at all these.
Later on
why
in
not?
our
Go
next
ahead and
campaign.
steal that, people in chat. You can just have like a little shout out. So yeah. Who are you gonna try to pawn this casket
New
off
guys.
to?
New guys.
Well, didn't they offer us help?
Yeah.
They did.
We could go all the way back and ask for help, or we could just pawn it off on the new guys.
Okay, we'll have to go back to the docks for that.
Yeah.
New guys?
New guys?
Do you think we could?
These guys
Oh,
that we just
will.
kicked out?
All right, let's go back to the docks and say we would like them to deliver,
Okay.
but we still want that.
It's not gonna be the same.
But then they're
area.
gonna be
It's just-
like-
it's just kind of down the docks.
But then they're
a
gonna
little
ask
bit.
us where the fucking briefcase came from.
Maybe. Maybe not.
Let's hope not.
We don't know yet.
I guess we'll find out.
Okay, so you kind of walk a little bit south down the docks a little bit. So you're kind of away from the military stuff, and you start getting closer to the single deck ships that seem to be more for trade or supply runs. And you do see other places. You do because you're passive perception. You see places where there are caskets being loaded in, kind of like American troops B-52 bombers or some shit. I think it's B-52s. I don't know.
Wait, why
it's
don't we
Love
just-
Shack. What?
Why don't we just drop the casket in the line of caskets?
That would.
That's kind of fucking brilliant and fucked up.
That's really. Let's fucking do it. Yes.
We
Just
can
walk
do
over
it.
and go bloop, and
If
then
that's
walk
what
away.
you guys want to do, yeah. Just put this like nail the last will on.
Yeah.
What do you think is?
It's not even their real will. What?
Kasdan looks around for like a rock, and he sort of grabs a stone. He puts the paper on top of the casket.
We don't have to put the paper.
We don't?
They don't know it's not
Like,
actually...
he wrote down that there was someone going to Arendelle. I don't know. We don't have to do anything.
We'll be gone
We're
anyway.
kind of sending this corpse somewhere right now. I don't...
Well, we'll
There's
put it in
lots
the
of
line
clerical
the door.
errors in war. Sometimes
Yeah.
there's just a body, and you're like, who the fuck's body is this?
We put it in the line
Shut
of
up!
other... We put it in the line of other
From
coffins.
the...
And now, let's go.
Okay, we just ditched the casket. All right, no. Casket ditched.
I like it.
I'm going to make a note.
Casket ditch.
Roll for that later.
It is.
Will they find it? Who knows?
Guess we'll find out.
Next time on Charisma Saves.
Oh my god.
Okay. So... Fuck.
I mean, we're fucked once we get to my place anyway. So
Yeah, yeah.
Let's go find
A taxi.
a taxi.
Yeah.
All right. We're doing good. This is great. This is good. Okay. I don't know which way to go.
He told you, right?
Yeah, he told me where.
Well, you live
I'll
here,
lead the way.
right?
Yeah, I'll lead the way to the taxis.
All right. So go ahead and make a very simple survival check to kind of. Not gonna be high at all.
Hopefully 19 works.
More than enough. You lived here. It's very low to kind of understand the geography and layout of things. It is Elven right now, but you see a line of they're called taxis. They're basically point A to point B.
Yeah.
They don't travel around, and you can't give them specific directions. But you see some places are going to Andot, some places are going to Eturium, some places are going to Araskali, Tadon. So basically everywhere, except for the Buzzard area and there's like lower class common birds.
What is this island that we're going to again?
Tedon?
Sola.
It's Tedon, I think?
But
Yeah.
or Sola?
Sola.
Sola?
Yep.
What is there?
It's a small farming
That's where
town.
that is.
And it's just.
You can explain it if you
Yeah.
want.
It's
Are there
basically-
elves there too?
No, it's Aarakocra. It's a smaller. Shit, where is it? There it is. It's a smaller snow owl / horned owl island. That's just a farming town. It's a small farming town.
Okay, we'll say that we have to go make a stop for you before
Yeah.
we go head back.
Yeah.
If we
It's a
need
good
to start.
cover.
That's a good cover. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go look for a taxi to Sola.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an investigation check as you kind of walk these secondary docks.
My dice fucking love me tonight. 17.
17. Okay, yeah. You easily find some taxis, several of them to Sola, and all of them are manned by well-dressed Aarakocran, most of which are like finches, cardinals, like blue jays, kind of this. There's like these noble hierarchy of birds, then the sort of menagerie of birds, and then the ravens, and then the buzzards, as far as hierarchy is concerned. So this is like your upper lower class.
They're what again?
Like common birds.
Okay. Like finches, cardinals, that
So
kind
they're,
of stuff.
yeah, they're under like the paradise birds, like the parrots
Okay.
and stuff. But there's sort of it'd be like your working class. So you walk up to one and immediately, which one do you pick? There are several types of birds. Notably, there's a cardinal, a finch, and a blue jay. We're the
Cardinal.
three. Cardinal. Okay. It's an older cardinal. You can see some silvering of the feathers around the eyes, but it's still a bright, brilliant red. Still has that sort of, you know, cardinals almost have like a crew cut. Still has that. Feathers are out, and he wears a nice vest that sort of has. You can tell it's been around a while. It's like his nicest clothes probably. It's a nice vest. Got some slacks. And then there's just like some bracelets and stuff. It looks like it's so he can pass around through the non-magic zones and not be caught. Hello, sir.
Hello.
Nice of you to come pick the taxi. My name is Borb.
Nice to meet you. It's Keel.
Thank you.
You look like the most He looked like the friendliest one, so.
He is a slightly portly cardinal.
Oh, his name is Blurry. Fuck.
Anyways, I am looking for a journey to Sola.
Sola, can do.
Me and my two comrades here.
Absolutely, it'll be silver a person.
Okay. And
Perfect. He takes that. Thank you very
I
much,
slip
sir.
him 5 gold as a tip.
5 gold.
Or 2 gold.
2 gold.
Is that a lot? I wouldn't know how much people usually tip. So what would be like an average?
So he gives. You don't really know how taxes work, but you know that like of what you paid him just now, he gets a portion, and then portion goes to the whoever owns the taxi. And you gave him 3 silver for 3 people.
Yeah.
So you're royal. So it was, but you're a snow owl, so technically you're upper class.
Yeah.
So it's not weird.
Yeah.
It's what would be culturally weird is respecting him so much.
Yeah,
But you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
So, do you want to give him 5 to?
I'll give him when we get to Sola. I'll give him a tip.
Okay. And so you kind of sit down. It's kind of like an open air carriage. It is long. It's ivory on the bottom. It has this sort of. I'm trying to think of the word. Kind of like have you seen the beginning of Hateful Eight when they sit in the carriage? It's kind of like that where it's very padded, but you have like windows that you can open, and it looks very nice, and you can kind of sit and face each other. And then he sits on the other side through a pane of glass and has a similar. It's a lower tech version of the military panels, and Aarakocrans don't use that obsidian. It's like a white sheet of steel that seems to be polished, and then inside is runic carvings that are kind of able to make it push along with these arcane crystals that are on the back and sides. So there's these little blue crystals that seem to be propelling these things. You're supposed to do some motions on there, and this whole process takes about 4 minutes. So you're almost halfway, and then he mentions, "All right, about a 10-minute drive." So
Can you make it faster?
I can certainly try. It's limits.
I'll sit facing away from him, actually facing towards him, but I would have
Is
the
it set up
briefcase
like a
like
car?
this.
It's like a carriage car. So
Yeah.
you're sitting 2 benches facing one another. On the outside, he's outside of this, and then he asks you, "Would you like, open air or closed air?"
Do you guys have a preference?
We have can be a bit cold up here.
We'll do closed.
Close to
Yeah.
Okay, he you see him moving some runes around, and it kind of shells off a little bit, almost like a tiny hut. And so there's sort of this. It's not quite as opaque as a tiny hut, so you can like see out. But it forms around the cabin a little bit, and so it gets a little bit cozier pretty quickly.
Petria, can I see that case, please?
Yes.
I'll take it. As we sit down, I'll make sure I face so that if I were to open the case, he could not see into it, even if he looked back at us.
Outside, and we have a closed air.
I know, but even if he looked back in, I want to make sure the opening of the briefcase would be pointed away.
Sure.
And then I'm gonna wait. How many minutes were we into their airtime? It was 4. I'm gonna wait another 5 minutes or so, like halfway into the trip, and I'm gonna just crack it.
He's talking to you the whole time. He's trying to make small talk. He's
Yeah.
one of those drivers.
Oh God. When I
So
crack
what
it,
brings you to
I go. Well,
the nest nowadays?
We're just
Is he
part
sort
of
of? He's
yeah.
like looking back
Yeah.
to kind of.
we're just part of the army. I was translating for him. I need to make a stop home in Sola. So.
Oh, that's nice. Well, If you need more taxiing,
Yeah, sure, for sure.
Bulb's got you.
But yeah, I flash a quick as I open the case and like just.
Okay, let me see if he notices you opening the case. Okay. So you're gonna.
Yeah, open it, like kind of peek in, and then try to.
While he's doing that, I'm gonna make small talk with him.
And then
He's gonna do that with disadvantage then.
after a couple of minutes, I'm gonna close it.
Go ahead and make a charisma check. Kind of like a basic conversational check.
So nothing.
Do you have any expertise in any charisma-based skill?
Persuasion.
Persuasion?
Yep.
Okay, I'll let you add half of your why can't I think of the word?
Persuasion?
Half of the modifier.
Proficiency.
What?
Proficiency?
Proficiency, thank you.
So 18.
18? Okay, yeah, you successfully seem to keep his attention. He hears the clicks, and you can tell he like really is pretty curious about it because it's a briefcase, and he kind of does this, and then you guys start talking about different Aarakocra
And I'm gonna ask him like why he chose to be a taxi person and if he enjoys it, you know.
Okay, well, I'll make an actual persuasion check for that.
22.
22.
I fucking diced it. I don't know what's going on.
He's so focused. He's so good.
His
Got ice in my veins.
his dad was a taxi driver, and he sort of followed in footsteps. He likes it because he likes to talk to people, and he likes to let the higher ups know that he's just as much of an important person as everybody else. And he sort of, it's not usually something he would say to someone like you, but you seem kind of part of the military and chill, and you're with elves, and so he kind of like, you can tell he kind of breaks down a little bit, his walls of like needing to be a certain way around somebody. So yeah, no, it's a good conversation. Okay.
Let them get some air.
Okay,
After
so you crack it open and a little air. You're good, and you tell him to
close
shush.
it back. Yeah.
Okay.
So he didn't scream as soon as I opened it.
All right. Were you going to scream? No, because you're physically holding your mouth. So I didn't know if you're trying to hold back. Okay. All right. So the ride's pretty nice. It's much nicer when for you and Kasdan, you are actually a little warm from time to time. It's really nice to get that freeing feeling. It's kind of like, it's because of the way the climate works here. It is controlled because it should be much colder up here. But that brisk sort of really, really fresh, almost magical air. It's kind of like when you walk into a casino and they just pump oxygen into you all the time. You feel much more rejuvenated than you usually do in like a natural setting.
Can I ask him for like the last little bit of the ride to open it up?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I want to do that. Like the last minute or so.
Yeah, sure. You do so, and he presses a couple things and traces, and yeah, it opens up. You're a little chilly, but you see Avelios' face, and he just kind of breathes deep, and it's good. It yeah, it has this almost. Go ahead and roll a perception check when that happens. What's that? 5. 5? It's nice, crisp air.
I gotta imagine Alenia kind of.
You do.
likes
You
that.
identify it. Like you were close to sea level, so it's pretty thin for you at times.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you had to run or anything, it'd be exhausting. You think? You know, for any extended period of time. But right now, just sitting here, lounging with decent company, pretty nice. Kasdan is looking all over the place. Slightly paranoid, but more like curious. He seems to have an unquenchable curiosity about most things. So, yeah, you enjoy the open air for a little bit. What? Did you say fuck you?
No.
Okay.
No. Something completely different.
And yeah, so you head over. You have plenty of air. You are brought to the other side of this taxi hub on Sola. There's not nearly as much business out here, and it's more of just. Oops, wrong one. It's more of just a. Just a nice little farm town. There's not a lot going on. There's not a lot of foot traffic. There seems to be an unnamed inn just sitting there. There's some... And it seems to be vegetable farms. There doesn't seem to be a lot of cattle here, which is normal for you. There are places around, especially on the main island, where there's like silk farms. There's probably grubs around here being farmed. But in the living trees, they typically are where they farm those most. Inside just the shells of old rotting, formerly living, like actually living, moving trees. And no one seems to really look at you sideways. Everyone just kind of like, oh, there's another person coming in. Seems very calm. Borb sort of presses some buttons and both side doors open up. And you can walk off if you'd like.
Yep.
Gonna hand him 5 silver.
5 silver? Okay. Thank you very much. And please, anytime. It's wonderful talking to you.
I'll keep you in mind.
All right. Have a wonderful day. He kind of looks at this and is just like, puts it away.
All right. Petria, where are we headed?
Well, we are close. So, we have to... Does anyone speak Thieves' Cant? Okay, so... The password, right, is up in the clouds. Just add it to a conversation to someone that seems not on the up and up. Okay?
Okay.
And you'll be directed. But we have to get to the safe house. I think probably the inn is best here.
Sure, let's start there.
Okay. I should leave them in there.
The counter time we have on that
is probably 6 minutes.
Okay.
Maybe 7.
Because I opened it halfway through the flight, so that it would only be about 5 minutes that they were closed in there.
I thought it was a little bit after that. This
No,
is about a 10-minute drive.
Yeah, in the middle of the 10-minute drive,
Okay,
I
so about
opened
5
it.
minutes.
So, yeah.
All right. So there's a tiny dark wooden inn. It looks like there's probably some other people there, maybe some elves on leave. Otherwise, it's just really, it's almost like Hobbiton, but with Aarakocrans. It's just very chill. It's pretty muddy, but there's definitely a green aspect to it. As you kind of look around and scan the horizons, there are lots and lots of grains being grown. So it goes from green to golden. As you can see, kind of the tips of these plants are starting to change as the year is getting later and it's getting closer to harvest time. What do you want to do?
Go to the inn.
Go to the inn? Okay. It's a nameless inn. It just says inn on it. It doesn't seem to be... It's not really a touristy place. This is mostly probably... And you don't remember this. Not that you've ever really been to Sola necessarily, but it doesn't look like its purpose has always been this. At first, it kind of looked like a barn, so it might have been repurposed at some point. You walk in, and there are some elves in there. Not really getting rowdy or anything. Elves usually have this decorum about them, and it's a little stuffy at times, but these just seem to be like low-level ensigns. There are some other Aarakocrans in there. Almost all of them are common birds, but there are a couple snow owls, or horned owls, rather, which are technically a lower version of owl, but they're still, I mean, they're higher than the eagles and stuff, so.
When we get into, or actually, it would probably be like outhouse. I don't know. Do birds poop like humans? Would there be some sort of restroom?
We've had enough cloaca conversations where this should be established.
Yeah, there's normal
There's elves here and stuff.
bathrooms.
Or a washroom or something?
In fact, the bathrooms you're used to are magical in nature. So it just eliminates, it's like a disintegration field.
Okay.
Almost like the ones that Gygax wear.
I'm gonna
Kind
take,
of, yeah.
when we get inside, I'm gonna look for that, to see if there's a place I could
Sure.
go off to.
Yeah. So you head on over, and yeah, there's very quickly. It kind of does look like a barn floor. There are some rafters. It's a very high ceiling, and then there's some rafters in between. It looks like they hung sort of chandeliers. They're wooden. They almost look like woven nests. And then in the center, there's like a crystal spire, and from that glows this soft, semi-magical light. There's 2 of those hanging. There's several tables. There is like a circular ovular bar area and a bartender in the middle, and all the way in the back is a hearth, and there's some. You've smelled Aarakocran food before when he went on a date with a peacock, when you were in the Aarakocran sector. It's not nearly as floral and like good, I guess is the word I'm going to use. Not as quality, but it definitely smells familiar. You recognize the smell as like a lower end, kind of like. I guess if there was a version of this, it'd be like a clam chowder, where it's like a pretty ubiquitous thing in the Northeast. So here it's more of like a fish stew, which is very common. It doesn't really have like a particular cultural name other than fish stew in Aarakocran. You could tell the fish is probably more pollock than something better, but it does smell. Like it immediately gives you that sort of grandma's house warmth to your chest. And you're just looking for a bathroom.
Yeah.
There's a bathroom clearly marked just as restrooms.
Okay.
It doesn't really have. There's no like sex differentiation.
How much space is there?
In the whole bathroom?
Mm-hmm.
It's about an 8x8 place, and there's a couple stalls.
Okay, I'm taking the case.
Okay. Kazan hands you the case. And he goes, "Ooh, stew!" And he walks over.
I'm gonna get some too.
Walk in the bathroom, close the door.
It's basically a serve yourself.
Open the case.
Around the hearth, it's
Guys?
built up, and then there's a pot, and then there's a table built around it with there's a dirt place to put the dirty dishes and a place where the clean dishes are, and you kind of help yourself and ladle it in, and then there's tables around. You open the case, and you look in. Guys?
Okay. We're on Zola. We're in a bathroom.
I knew it.
Can
I
you
could
keep it
sense
down? You hear?
Wait, there's not. This is like a stalled bathroom? I thought it was like a single
It's
person.
a-
He described the
I said
stalls.
Fuck.
there's a few stalls.
I wouldn't have talked if that's the case. Shit.
Well, now you have to kill him.
Doesn't seem to notice. There's just the
You could be one of those weirdos that talks.
there just seems to be a digestive issue happening in the other stall, and you sit there for a minute. It takes care of itself. Go and
Yep.
roll a Constitution check.
I'm gonna hide in a stall, I guess. Ooh, that's not bad.
Okay.
21.
It's acrid and fishy.
Ugh.
So you think there might have been some stew, and maybe too much of it.
Alright.
And there's some hand washing in there's like a bucket, and then there's a like a sink sort of.
Mm-hmm. Like a wash basin.
Yeah, it's kind of like a wash basin, and there's like 2 of them next to each other. One's dirty, one's clean. And you hear that, and then it seems to take care of itself.
Are we empty in here now? Is there?
You think
That
so?
guy's certainly empty.
Shut the fuck up.
Eh.
Are we playing Minecraft?
This is ominous bathroom music.
No, I confuse it with another song.
Everything. There's no one else in here, right?
Not that you're aware of.
Okay.
There's only 3 stalls, and one of them was occupied. Now it's gone,
Okay.
and you're in the other one.
I'm gonna come out of the stall, look around, make sure no one else is in
Can
here.
you go and roll perception check?
Bathroom shenanigans. Fuck! I can't roll perception to save my life. It's a 4. Give me your dice.
You seem you kind of go. You're that person that looks through the crack in the stall,
That's been my baby.
and you kind of line up. You don't see anyone in there.
Okay. I'll walk over to like the backmost, maybe like. Is there like a crack behind the last stall, maybe? I know some bathrooms have that.
Crack behind the last.
Like
stall.
sometimes there will be like a bend in the bathroom that you can
Oh, I
kind
see.
of
No, they're
duck
just kind of
behind.
stacked like this in the back of the bathroom, and then
Okay.
there's a wash basin, and then there's the door.
All right.
It's not super nice.
Okay. I'm gonna try to just get in a place where I'm not as super obvious, and then I'm gonna open the briefcase, look at them, do this, and say, reach my hand out, pull them out.
Okay.
That's so...
No. As I reach in to pull them out, I'm gonna cast invisibility on both of them.
Okay. Okay.
And she's trying. Where are we? What?
In the bathroom.
So
We
as
can't!
you climb out,
This is a bad idea. We should wait until we get to the.
There's, according to your map, there's no arcane glass here.
yeah,
I'm pretty wary of
we'd
this.
have to keep opening the briefcase every 10 fucking minutes.
Oh, just is it? Let me do greater invisibility on myself if we're doing this.
How long does that last?
Hold on, I'll check.
I think an hour.
That means you can like do actions and stuff. With
Oh,
Yeah.
never mind. That's only a minute. No, how long does regular invisibility last?
An hour,
Okay, yeah. I guess just regular.
and
is
I can
fine.
recast it.
I still, if this is what you want to do, I'm cool with being in the case.
Shut the fuck up. Why are you so loud all the time? Just take my hand and I'm gonna recast invisibility. It's 3rd level. 2nd level. If I cast it at 3rd, I can make both of them invisible, so. We will do that.
Oh God. Okay.
And I'll close the briefcase.
Does that smell
Actually-
you, by the way?
No.
I don't believe that.
You should probably stop talking. You're both invisible. And I'm gonna take my belt out of the
Okay.
briefcase and put that on.
Okay.
Underneath the ropes.
Yep. Okay. So you have your belt.
I'm gonna take my spellcasting focus as well,
Okay.
and yeah, potions that I had on me. That would have been in there from
Right.
emptying the bag or whatever.
Okay.
Alright, and then I'm gonna walk out of the bathroom.
Okay. So both of these guys are invisible.
Yes.
Okay. Is there anything you want,
Wow.
Celius?
I'm gonna take my time walking
I'm
out
just
the
gonna
door.
grab my cloak and the underbarrel, reattach it real quick.
Okay. You do so. It doesn't take much. It's basically just like a snap in.
Yeah.
Okay. So you walk back out.
Yep.
All right. You two are trying to be quiet, I assume. So let's have stealth with advantage for both of you.
15.
26.
26 and 15. You guys think you're pretty quiet as you walk through. It's not like muddy floors or anything. It is wood, so you seem fine. And you walk back out. And Kasdan with his monocle looks over and goes, and you don't see anything.
But I see his reaction.
Do I see his reaction?
You definitely see him go.
With my passive, can I hear Randy walking?
I point at her and go.
Well, you can't really make out the separate footsteps
Yeah, okay.
necessarily. Go and roll an intelligence check.
No,
Okay,
not
so
that time.
you're more like, what?
Do I see Kasdan's face? Like when he goes.
Yeah, you do. But you're just more confused, not like
Yeah.
suspicious necessarily. If that makes sense.
Do I see anybody that
Look,
matches?
Kasdan, it was this or every 10 minutes we had to open that
That's a
thing.
better idea. What if someone's walking around with a monocle? Did you think about that?
I mean, we should be fine. Probably.
What if? That's the problem. What if?
We don't know.
Okay, well, fuck it. Don't have a choice now.
Yep, we're out.
I'm gonna look for the.
Yeah, do you see
that
anyone
you
shady?
described.
Should we have some food?
I thought him and I grabbed food.
You do, but I mean, it's only been like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Did you destroy it?
Me, probably.
So you're probably empty, but he's still like
Yeah.
eating some.
Look for our shady
Yeah,
guy.
he's going to. So I was waiting to
Well, I
say.
don't know that there's just a shady guy here.
Well,
So-
someone that he kind of.
Sure. Well, there's 3 members that I know are here. 2 are Aarakocra, but one's a dwarf, so I can't imagine he's going to be here. We keep our relationships secret, so I don't know what they look like. We've only had correspondence. This is our first meetup.
Okay.
And they think I'm being sent to my death right now.
Oh.
So,
Good.
I know that there's an eagle, a female named Bliora. There's a female hawk named Scala. The dwarf, his name is Pimch.
Does he pinch people?
No, Pimch.
Pimch. Pimp.
Pimch.
Like he
Pimch.
slaps people.
That's not at all what I said.
Pimp slap?
Pimch. Pimch.
Yeah, that's fine. Anyways,
It's dwarfish.
do I
don't
see
know.
either of the Aarakocrans?
There are definitely hawks and eagles in here.
Yeah.
There's about 24 people, so while it's not that busy because it's a big, wide place, I mean, there's definitely some there. Do you want to walk around and talk to some Aarakocrans?
This. Yes.
Okay.
Up in the sky.
Up in the clouds.
Up in the clouds. Fuck.
Jesus, this is why I'm talking.
Up in the sky. Person would go, yes, indeed, and walk away. Okay, so there's people enjoying some drinks. There's people enjoying some dried grubs. People enjoying some of the soup, the stew, I guess.
You said the person would look like they're kind of down on their luck? Look a little rough?
He basically said well, no, not rough. He said basically sketchy.
Yeah. Okay. Do I see an eagle
We're
that
looking
looks
for criminals.
sketchy?
You see several eagles and you see several hawks.
That all looks sketchy.
Go ahead and roll perception. Well, investigation check.
So many favors. 15?
Okay. You see a group of Aarakocrans enjoying some stew and some other things, and kind of talking off on this more circular table, kind of in the corner. And one of them, there's an eagle with them that is just kind of sitting back.
I'll walk up to the table.
It's a big bird.
Yeah. It's an
It
eagle.
does
Fucking
seem female. She's easily the biggest person there.
Oh god.
huge. Gonna walk up to the table.
Okay.
Like, hello, everyone.
See people look up, and you get a series of greetings like, "Hello." Eagle doesn't move.
How's your stew?
Who are you just talking?
Yeah,
Talking
in general, just like making small talk.
Okay. As you kind of hold your
Yeah.
empty bowl, and you're like, "Yeah, pretty good, yeah."
Yeah, I haven't had it in a while. I haven't really been up in the clouds lately, so.
Oh yeah, no, it's better.
Yeah.
Better out of here.
Feels good to be back.
Probably, yeah. One of the hawks specifically seems to be like kind of the talky one. Some of the other ones seem to kind of like social interaction. I'm just trying to relax.
Yeah.
One of them seems kind of into it, and they'll kind of look and kind of defer. Just a black hawk.
Yeah.
Probably middle-aged.
What was
It's a male.
Scala again?
Scala is a female hawk.
Okay.
Red.
I just want to make sure.
Kind of like Seiko,
Okay.
the red hawk. Bleora is an eagle, you don't know what kind.
Mm-hmm.
This happens to be a female bald eagle.
Yeah.
But, and the you kind of have some small talk about where the best fish stew is from, and obviously you're of the opinion it's where the snow owls live, and then you start having a debate about ingredients.
Yeah.
No, the real fish is red snapper. And you're of the opinion it's if you can get really, really, really good grouper, that's that shit, right?
Yeah.
You kind of dig in. It's kind of nice to have this sort of cultural banter, for a little bit. So you sort of do that for a good 2 minutes.
No. Okay. Well, enjoy your stew, guys, and we'll walk away.
All right.
We go back to our table.
Okay.
Sit down. Like, how long do we wait? If I got the right person.
I don't know. Did you say up in the clouds?
Yeah.
I'll just sit here.
How do I know I got the right person, though?
Don't know.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll guess.
All right.
I guessed right.
So you guys kind of sit around and wait for a little bit. That group sort of finishes up, and you can see the bowls being put down where the dirty bowls go, and everyone kind of walks out. And the eagle's behind them, sort of walks. Keeps walking. You hear the big heavy steps. Good 7 feet tall, this bald eagle. Huge, huge. Wingspan is nuts. Talons dig as they walk. Sort of turns over and looks at you and goes, and starts walking out.
We should follow.
Let's go. All right, follow.
Okay, all right. You'll follow, and then she's kind of, as you get up and start to walk, she's walking down the street a little bit, and you can see there's this long sort of winding dirt road that goes up, and then at the top of the hill is a farm, and all around are wheat fields, and it seems like this is one of the more prominent farms in the area. But not atypical. It doesn't look like super special. It's not like a plantation or anything. It doesn't really stand out. It's just got a lot of land, it looks like. And it sort of takes following her a little bit for like 2 minutes up this sort of path, up nestled into some coniferous trees. Head in there. And she motions not to the house, but to the cellar under the house. As you sort of walk around, and she sort of turns, folds her arms, and puffs up real big. Kind of being a shield, if you will, as you guys are sort of ushered into this place. And there's a moment when you walk past, and then a hand comes out and grabs Icilius by the chest.
Hey, it's okay. They're with us.
And with strength,
Yeah.
you are pulled up off your feet and in front of her face. And she can't see you. You can see that her eyes are searching for something to focus on, but she can feel you.
Bleora. It's okay. They're
Make a
with us.
persuasion check.
Oh, that's not bad. 18.
You let go of.
We had to take drastic measures to get here.
Human.
Yeah.
Smart. And you're ushered back in. You go downstairs as you open these up. Immediately you're hit with this waft of warm air.
You should end the spell.
Yeah, once we get downstairs, I'll end the spell.
Take a few steps down. It's a good 8 foot straight down, and then you're met with a door. and it starts to get these nice hewn stones. And then Kasdan walks up, and he sort of walks over, and there's this sigil. Do any of you speak Sylvan?
I do.
Ilias does.
Isilius,
So does
on the there's like it's a Sylvan sigil, and it's circular, and on it says basically to the it's kind of in the way Sylvan is, it's very not how do I describe this? It's kind of like almost like if you were to speak it out loud, it kind of sounds like you're saying like things backwards. So it says hand place. And he puts his hand up and he touches it. And you can see, go and roll perception, everybody.
Hey. 20.
25.
Okay, anybody over 20, you see as he puts his hand on the sigil, light shines through it, and inside his hand, he has the same sigil tattooed, like underneath the skin in what, like kind of like if you put black light over invisible ink, and it sort of glows this like purpley blue. He lets go, and the door goes, because it's just like a sheer slate wall. And you walk in, and you see inside there several people turn their face toward you. Most of them Aarakocran. One of them a dwarf with long red beard that grays at the tips. And he's got a hammer as he sort of sets it down on the table they're sitting at, with a fire behind them, books and papers and what looks to be plans and schemes just strewn across the table. Who are you?
Well, that's
Hopefully.
I got it.
I know Kasdan.
And heard you guys are trying.
Kasdan goes, I don't know you.
Pimch. We've got information on you. Welcome to the Oath.
Heard you guys might need some help.
Ah! You want to become part of the plans?
I think that we're going to be very integral part of your plans.
Yeah.
Very integral.
Well, you've come to the right place. Pimch.
Avelios.
Alenia.
Pimch.
The professor.
All right.
Don't question it.
And you, sir.
Isilius.
How'd you sleep?
Eh. Had to do a lot of shit.
It's
to get
about like 1:30 at this point. You've been up for 3 hours.
well, we had to go through a lot of shit to get in here, but
Are you fed?
yeah, I am.
Yeah.
We aren't. We were in a suitcase.
And they were invisible.
Yeah.
They
Sort of looks
saw me.
around and he motions to a couple people, and
Speaking of which, I take the suitcase back.
almost every
All of our stuff is in there.
I know where the switch is.
almost every Aarakocran in there is a common bird or lower. You are easily the highest socially ranking, and then Leora, as far as Aarakocrans are concerned. And many of them seem pretty surprised you're here. There's specifically 2 finches that seem pretty similar, and an oriole.
That's common, right?
Yeah, common. That bring forward some breads and some other stuff, things that they think you'll like, that aren't quite as prepared as the other stuff, but there's a dwarf with them, so they have some normal stuff. There's a keg of ale brought out. There's some wine. There's hearty stuff like stew available and some vegetables and stuff. They're trying to stay warm up in this high altitude. Well, it's in luck that we have some more people here tonight.
Well,
Because tonight's stage 1.
Wait.
well,
Stage
hold
1?
on.
And that's where we're going to end the session.
Ah!
What?
That makes sense.
I figured.
I'm not going along with any plan until I.
I might want to defer to the people who know what's going on here.
Well, they don't.
I'm not deferring to anybody because.
Okay. Oh boy. Here we go. Okay.
Spoiled Princey pants over here.
We need to let them.
Why would I just let them tell me a plan without them knowing who I was? Because I could change everything completely.
Right. We'll explain.
Which is why I said
Yeah.
like
We'll
I want to
explain.
explain and know what the plans are before we just do it.
But I think immediately coming being like, hold on.
Bitch, fuck your plans!
No, I
I'm
wasn't
the-
gonna say that.
I'm the
I
prince!
wanted to just like get information. Like,
Yeah, okay. Sound a little more.
I'm so surprised you guys killed that.
dude, my dice were fucking ridiculous.
I was so
Oh,
nervous
dude.
when he said I got selected. I was like, oh,
I just rolled for random
fuck.
selections, yeah.
Although I might have been the best choice for that because I don't
Yeah.
know Kasdan's
It probably worked out.
charisma.
If that zone of truth had gone through, fuck.
It's a good thing that I started with proficiency in charisma saves. So
You
I rolled
theoretically could
terribly
have.
all night, so I'm glad I only had to make like 5 rolls.
Yeah.
Zone of truth, how that is worded,
I
basically.
could have tried
Could
to
you be like,
wiggle around
my
it,
friends
but-
are my
Right.
friends in that coffin? Like,
Yeah,
could
you can squirm,
Okay.
but it's really tough when
Yeah.
like that guy was business, so it was very funny.
Okay.
I'm really glad one of you got randomly selected because
Was it? What did you say? It was over under like?
it was a coin
I
flip.
could have also gone for the crying, weeping part and just been like, "There's so many dead people. I'm so
Yeah.
flustered." Because
It's
that's
good.
not a lie.
I had a good time. Also level up.
Woo!
Finally, we have leveled up. You have finally reached the nest, which is a milestone
Oh,
that is
shit.
set. So
Everyone
if you all
opens
want,
their shit back
if
up.
you all want to roll hit points right now, just because we're all at the table. So
Oh,
you are
fuck.
level 13, right?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh fuck! What?
This level, I was gonna take my oath.
Do you want to take your oath?
Yeah.
Okay, we can role play that out if you'd like. There are religious structures around here, or there is wilderness if you want somewhere really private. There's not a ton, but like you can walk out into the middle of a field, or something. If you want to think about what you want to do,
not for flirting reasons.
if you want to think about it for a little while, we do it next session. We can do it at the beginning of the session, like at night,
Yeah.
or we can do it now. Totally
no,
fine with that.
next session because I really want to think on it. Plus, I'm thinking about having him contact Jordan so I can ask him about how
Okay.
to take the oath.
Sounds good. Sounds
I
good.
was hoping we'd be able to have him in person.
Can do.
but-
Luckily, there's no cage over top. That
Yeah.
said, Avelios, by the time you got here, there was on the island you came from with the elves.
Okay.
So, like, when you walked out of the, not when you got here, but when you walked out to walk up to the farm,
Yeah.
you saw the arcane glass go up. So you were one of the last in. So it looks like,
Our proficiency goes up.
based on what time it is,
It's +5 now?
at 3 p.m. ish is when the Elven arcane glass goes up. You don't know when it comes down.
Ooh, this is such a good thing I just got.
So let's roll hit points real quick. So
Already
just
did.
because we're already here, yeah, what do you get?
I don't roll for mine. I just do that.
Oh, you can also do that if you'd like, but we omit ones, of course. Ooh, gambler. So that plus your Constitution modifier.
That's
It would have been even anyway. So, 5, 9.
Oh, not bad.
Yeah,
Are you
yeah.
rolling for it?
119.
Do you know what you're going into? Or are you staying with
I'm
the?
doing another wizard.
Or are you just going with the average, which is Half rounded up. I think it's a D8, right? Or a D6?
It's a D6.
So 4.
4.
Is this our first on-stream level up?
Yeah.
Hey, Randy, your proficiency goes up too, by the way.
Everyone's proficiency
It does,
goes
Yeah,
up, I
yes.
think.
I was just reminding him.
So a lot of numbers change. So we can do that outside of the...
Yeah.
Are you gambling?
Yeah, that was a 1 though.
Oh,
So.
yeah. Reroll ones.
Jesus Christ, my deck save.
Oh, we gotta add all these things up now.
Same. Okay.
Same 4?
Oh no, 3 minus
3.
1. But
My
I
deck
got
save
low
is
hit points
11
anyway.
now. Jesus fucking Christ.
So 7 and 9. What's this?
Fun.
Oh yeah.
Hugo, remind me this week. Let's roll your backup professor.
yeah.
You guys have to. You should probably take your sheets home and then fill out
I know.
the things.
Yeah.
I'm
You
gonna-
can absolutely
I know
take
I gotta
whatever
do
home.
that
Did
on
you
that.
roll for... Oh, you did.
I'm gonna-
Arcelius, did you roll?
Not yet. I haven't decided what I'm gonna put this level into.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, you might multi-class?
Hey Randy, what's Airmail's
Yeah.
perception?
Are you keeping that a secret?
20.
Welcome to the club, bud.
I'm
It'll be like
debating
22.
between staying pure fighter or adding artificer.
Oh, that's right. Okay, I use the, just so
Second
you're
level
aware, I
slot,
use the,
too.
do you know
The
the,
one
I think
you
I'm
sent
one
me.
behind you.
is it the one I sent, does that one have the Mechanist?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the one I use, yeah.
Okay.
There's something I want to talk to you about too.
Yep,
Like not.
doesn't
I
have to be
half
on stream.
level
No,
skills
it's
in
gonna be just you
Paladin
and I.
now, so
Okay, Yep.
I think this one,
I think you already know what it is because
Gives
we've talked
me-
about it before a
Well,
long
I
time
wanna
ago.
talk
like, I
more.
don't get any spell slots for this level up because I did Paladin and not.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
okay, so is there anything else we need to do while the cameras are a-rolling?
I'm done with my
think
level
that's
up.
it.
Alright, cool, so level 13! Woo!
I think we're below our dick quotient for this episode.
Okay, if you want to bring up a dick real quick, that's fine.
We inspected people's pants for dicks. How
That's
are we
true.
below?
Yeah,
Actually, that's the most dick we've had in a while on
Yeah.
this.
Yep. I think it's the most dick we've ever had.
Ever?
Yeah. We've never actually had where we looked at dicks before.
Professor gets naked
Well-
sometimes.
Yeah, but we've never like inspected for dicks. Like that's never been.
I feel like the
Roll
professor's
for dick
constantly
check.
inspecting
Well,
for
you're
things
not
like
gonna
that.
defend-
In fairness, you guys are on the Hartnell asleep all the time. You have no idea what he's doing.
Oh
Oh
god.
When not-
God.
I'm gonna go with that. Q.
Why do you think he
I'm gonna
talks so
start
much about
home alone
cloacas?
tapping
He
my
has
door.
one to study all the time when you're asleep.
All of the time.
Are they getting soft?
A
Yeah.
little bit.
Alex made cookies.
Yeah. They're fantastic, by the way.
So,
Wife mate.
thank you for watching Charisma Saves tonight. It was a good time. Next week at 6:30 we'll be here, and apparently there is a stage 1 to complete, so we'll see what happens. So until next time, any parting words? Thank you. Do it one more time.